We're live.
I guess that answers the question, Tony.
It does. You know, we were wondering because listen, we back on a different platform on StreamYard and stuff now because the other one was sitting in bed. We couldn't rock with it no more. And we were wondering if it does a countdown, but I think you have to do that. You know what I mean? I think you have to put that up there.
Yeah.
The countdown
first. So we're live. We'll pretend like this count. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, we just pretend. What's going on, people? You know what it is, Don Tony Teflon. Phil the Issues guy. This is Escaping From Podcast. What up to everybody out here rocking with us? What an exciting episode of From Phil. What's good with you?
Everything. This was awesome. This was a great, emotional, intense, scary. And some of the scariest stuff that we've had this season was just in that moment as Randall was approaching Donna. I think I can speak for a lot of people watching the screen at that moment going, step away. Don't get so close to Donna. But this was a really awesome episode. The show is amazingly hitting its stride as it's heading into its last couple of episodes, Tony.
No doubt. Let's say what up to my girl Mika up in the building. CA 1983 is in the building. Repeater Griffith is up in here. Coco is in here. From Australia, Carla Way is in the building rocking with us right now. Coco is in here. Jazzy Boo is up in this piece. Cool Gamer is in here. Kim Merriweather is in here. Megan Smith is in here. We have over 100 people in here. I'm sure we're going to hit that 500 mark as usual. Hit that, now 124 is going up. Hit that thumbs up for your boys up in here real quick. And as I told you, we got a special, I know you ladies, y'all ladies been getting on, brother, saying I had too many women who weren't giving you no eye candy. So we took care of that for you this week. We took care of that for you. I told you I got you, right? I got you. So we're going to be up in here. Let me bring in my brother. You know him as Elgin, but his name is Nathan D. Simmons.
That's right. Hey, what's going on? Yo, you killing me.
What's going on, bro? What's good with you, man?
Not much, man. I'm chilling, here in Toronto right now. Had a wonderful day, chill day. Spent some time in the gym. It's hot as hell, then it started raining. So now it's everything's chilled out. So I'm vibing, and it was a good episode today too. Like I feel this episode in particularly, it really did, like, for me at least. I mean, because behind the scenes, I see it coming together a certain way, but when I watch it all form and to what it is, like, it really hit me a bit emotionally today. Like, I was really moved, in particular with this episode. So
no doubt about it. Call in and ask them a question. 781-990-8509. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the video and everything. People up there saying, "What up, Nathan? Hello, Nathan." Can you see the chat?
I know I can't. Where's the chat at? Oh, to go on YouTube there?
You should be. Can he see it from our thing, Phil, or he has to go on YouTube?
Yeah, I think you would have to go to.
Okay, give me 5 seconds. Hold on.
All right, make sure when you go on YouTube that you pause the sound, you pause the video so you get to see the chat and everything else.
Yeah.
Or if you click on that link I just put in the private chat, that will take you there.
I got you. Oh, that's so much quicker. Oh my gosh.
There you go.
Thank you so much, Phil. Oh, I see. There it is. There's
people right there. Nisha Rochelle saying, "Look at you." They saying, "What up, Nathan? What's going on with you?" Laura Butler is saying, "What's going on?" My man Pete Easy's in the building. Daisy May is saying, "Elgin's up in this piece." No doubt about it. Rhonda S is saying, "Hey, Elgin, excited to see you." Everyone's here.
Hey, Rhonda, how you doing?
Carla Way from the land down under saying, "We love you, Nate. We love you."
Wow, Australia. Jeez, I love you too, Carla. I love you too.
We worldwide, baby. We got people from all over the world who watch it.
That's actually crazy.
You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
So listen, before we get up in this piece, man, we're gonna go through this, break down this episode with you.
All right, let's go.
I got to ask you one thing, though, bro. And we're gonna skip right. I'm glad that I'm glad that water scene was a dream, because I was like, they got my boy in the potato sack. I got my man up in the potato sack like this. Who was good with that scene? When they came to you and said, "Yo, you gotta throw this on," who were you thinking here? When they put that on you?
Oh man, okay. I tell you, when they told me, listen, I can swim, but I don't do it for fun, right? And so when they told me, they said, "Oh yeah, we're getting ready to put you underwater." I was like, "Wait, hold on, you're gonna put me underwater? Like, what's going on?" And then they told me, like, everything is happening, that someone's gonna drown me, and I swear I was like, "Oh, that's it. Like, that's it. I'm done." I started telling them I'm done. I made my peace. Went through it, but thankfully they kept me around. So Yeah, but yeah, it was frightening, man. Also, I gotta say this because I know I want to get questions about it. I don't know who that person was. That's not like I got no idea for it because I remember the person that was there was like a stand-in, so they kept it real hush hush for me too because it looked completely different. And when I seen it, I was like, "What the?" Like, I was all shook up. I even jumped a little bit too, even though I knew it was happening. Right, so.
Nathan, were you a fan of the show before you were on it? Did you watch it last year?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I love the show. I love it. I love it. Especially because of like the Lost crew, and I was a big fan of Lost growing up, big fan of Harold, and you know, I just found like the mystery horror is like right down my alley. I love horror. I'm a big horror guy. Like I watch a lot of the 80s stuff, like the Jeepers Creepers even I watch, like that trilogy. So yeah, this is just right up my alley. And then the opportunity came to audition for it, and it was it was a blessing.
That's where it's Eleanor, Living My Rhapsody. She's my co-host on the stream too. She wants to know, was that water cold or warm?
Oh, it was warm at first. On the first take. It was warm on the first take. And then we kept going.
How many takes did you do on that?
I think 4 or 5. Right? Yeah. And I don't like water, right? So that's true. That's true. I don't do baths. That's something that I identify with Elgin. And so like I think I was taking my time because every time I got out, I wanted to get completely dry. And then they just sent my ass right back into it again. So by the time we finished, like 5-6 takes, it was pretty cold. I ain't lying. So
that's what it happened. Now, how is it playing such a passive character? Like, aggression to you really, you mellow, you in your thoughts, you in your head, like you yourself, you're an outgoing guy and everything else. Probably the total opposite of how is it playing somebody like that?
It's interesting, man. I find like sometimes end of the day, I'm really in my head, and I feel like I'm trapped in my body a little bit, just having to live, I guess, a different type of expression than I'm used to. Yeah, it's different. It's different, and no, it's hard. Even it's hard to like submerge your own personality when you're on set all that time and not letting the way I express myself interfere with the way I believe Elgin would. But actually, like speaking about Scott, we spoke with Scott earlier. I learned a lot watching Scott because Scott he's like really focused, and he really keeps his cape on throughout the day when he has to film, but then when he's not, like he's personable and stuff. So I learned a lot of how to weigh those two balances there. Yeah,
that's what it is. I feel. Let's run this.
Okay, here we go.
Let's get into it. Our episode opens up on Kenny and his mom talking about making his favorite food. Some dark music kicks in. And right away, you were saying you were a horror movie fan. Tony talked about this on his review too. This episode had a bunch of Nightmare on Elm Street going on in it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Even with the phone, I almost expected Freddy's tongue to come out and start looking at Kenny for a second. It was
crazy.
Very crazy like that. And the phone rings and says, and Tony did a video on this today as well. They touch, they break, they steal. No one here is free. Here they come for 3 unless you stop the melody.
The melody, yeah.
Interesting.
No doubt about it. Now, Kenny did a good role here. I mean, it took him like an hour to grab that phone. He was like, should I get it?
Maybe.
Should I get it? And he was just holding me. He was going. He's like, right, let me grab the phone. It took him a second to grab that phone.
Took a decade.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So when you seen this scene on screen, how did it play to you?
It's funny, even for me, like even though I read it, like I was confused. Like at first I'm like, wait, what's going on here? Like I was so like I tossed it aside. I was like, wait, what's going on here? I didn't understand if it was like a dream or not. And I'm like, wait, did they change? Because they did it with the bathtub scene. So I'm like, are they changing something right now? And I swear that for some reason my mind, like, because then he wakes up off the dream, and then his mom is there, and he got like this bruise. And for a second, I thought that the worms went into his arm, and I was so confused. Like it sent me to a whole different direction, which I think is good editing.
It would definitely do that. It's hard to see it. Like if you just watch it, it's hard to see. The Cicadia hit him in the arm and the burn mark. Like it's a quick little thing. that happens right there. So it'd be hard to see that. You just see him with the bruise and shit. And of course, you probably say, hey, maybe these worms came back on his ass or something like that.
Yeah.
It was so surreal, though, and it was shot so well and edited, as you were saying, Nathan, to the sense of so many times in shows and movies, you can tell that things are dreams.
Yeah.
And in this moment, you definitely could, like, I wasn't immediately going, oh, we're in a dream, not till the phone rang. Once that phone rang, everything got a little like weird, like similar to the show when the music comes on in the diner. It was just a sudden kind of situation. And yeah, he wakes up and there's a pot on the stove that the bugs come out of, and he's woken up by his mom and he's okay, and you get the burn on him again. Nightmare on Elm Street style. Like he's like Nancy, he can bring things out of the dreams. And that connects as well to the dreams that your character that Elgin had with seeing the ballerina and seeing everything mix.
The ballerina box, I think that's what really helped me say, okay, this isn't real life. Like I couldn't honestly, with like the From universe, even from like last season with the person on the radio speaking to him, I even was thinking like, oh, the phone call, is that part of it as well? Like, did they change something? Because I know for me, that riddle was part of like me and Angela Bakta. That's something we spoke on about, like we're fit with that's something that all right, okay. I'm not saying no much right now. I can't say that much more right now. But that's something that we did speak on, like that riddle, something that we did speak together on, right? Like, and shout out to Angela. We break down together. Like, she's a fabulous actor. We broke down so many of the scripts, but that's something we focused, we listened to, because we're like, oh shoot, that's such an interesting thing. And so that part, I'm like, oh shoot, is it actually something that is wider than just this one particular scene? And then I did see the ballerina, and I was like, oh wait, KK, this is a dream. So yeah.
Yeah, I broke down with that thing, man. Everybody who wants to know what that means, go check my video. I just dropped it, explaining that whole damn phone call. I figured that out.
You did? Oh shoot, you figured the whole phone call out?
Yeah, I figured out the whole phone call.
Shoot. Yeah, check that out then. Yeah, you gotta tell me something. I'm still confused from it. So
I gotta look it up again. So there's a couple of crazy things about that phone call.
Please tell me.
We'll go through it real quick. Let me.
You were thinking that the three of them that they were talking about was Elgin, Kenny, and Marielle.
They're talking about you. They're talking about Kenny, and they're talking about this chick, Chrissy's girlfriend,
Mary Ellen.
So what happened was, if you look at the scene where Boyd escapes, right, when he gets out of the well, when he comes up and he meets Martin, you could see that there are 3 people chained to the wall. There's 2 skeletons, and Martin's the only one alive.
Yeah.
So that means there was 3 people up in there. Now, Martin, when he transferred the worms to Boyd, he died. So it seems like the people who are there like to have 3 people locked up. So that's why they say they coming for 3s. They want 3 new people to lock up in there. So you 3 are the 3 people they want to lock up in there, because y'all seen the music box. So it's going to be y'all 3 that they try to put up in that piece and lock up. And so the guy said that you get caught when you go through a faraway tree, said Martin. So that's how you get caught. So I think that monster, that corpse monster, that may chase you and make you force you into a faraway tree. I think that the morphs that Kenny seen, not the morphs, the cicadas, may come after him and force him into a faraway tree. And then she's seen a regular monster inside of her vision, so she may get chased by a monster and jump in a tree. And I think that's how, if y'all gonna get bagged up, that's how you're gonna get bagged up from that.
Why you say bagged up for? Come on.
I mean,
push it apparel for me, man.
I ain't saying you were the top, bro.
No. Oh shit. Okay. I like it. That's
that's what I think is happening in that whole situation. You know what I mean? We'll see. We'll see how it plays out, if it does.
Let's see. I like that.
Well, and I would say this: when you Google, I put that whole phrase inside the Google, right, and just put the phrase in there. When you do that, it comes up Edgar Allan Poe's poem, "The Raven," for whatever reason. Right, is what pops up. Now, in the show, that Raven poem was on the chalkboard behind Toby when he got stabbed in the neck. but it was wiped off, but you could read a couple of words. And that poem represents about how someone deals with loss and misery, and how that loss and misery almost drove people insane. So I think it's interesting that they that also pops up when that comes up in there.
Now,
Evan,
interesting when you say
Wow.
that, when we think about, this is a question from
Okay.
the voice at 916 that asks a little bit about maybe Elgin's t-shirt.
Hello,
Ah,
everyone.
yes. Who said voices?
Hello, Tony.
Yes.
Hi, Phil. We missed you. And welcome, Nathan. Thank you for joining us at the Teflon family.
Can you hear the
Oh,
voice?
okay. Yeah, I thought I was going
You
crazy.
thought it
But
was
yeah,
a
I hear. Yeah, I thought it was in my own head. Okay, yeah.
Okay, well,
How
let
you
me
doing?
continue. Let me
Thank you.
continue.
Thank you so much. Thank
I
you.
have a couple of questions to ask you. The first one, if they're not too spoilery, could you please respond to them? Can you give us the significance of the crow T-shirt? Do you have any idea on what it's trying to convey? The second,
The first, honestly, I'm not 100% sure. I had my my questions about it at first when I had it. I thought there was some significance to it, but I do know that it was made by the director Jack Bender. He's also an amazing painter. Check out his Instagram. But yeah, that I had some ideas of what it meant and if it meant anything to do with my character, but so far I don't have any answers. It's still something that I'm pondering on right now.
And let's get to the second question.
question is, do you have any backstory on your grandma, on Elgin's grandma? What is going on with that? Is she still alive? Has she passed on?
As of right now, the information that I've been using and playing with is that she is still alive, yes, but and I was on my way to go and see her, but like of course, you know, I got turned around into the from land, but like there is she's ill in some sort of way, and me not being there is also causing me to it's affecting me in a negative way because I'm not there to actually help her, and she's in a home and all this stuff. That's what I'm using, but like I'm actually not there, and of course that's a little bit of worry that's going to constantly build up, especially for someone that's so dear to my heart.
No doubt. Luna Cascade wants to know. She says, "Hello, Nathan. Thanks for joining us for Unicast. We talked about this a little bit. Talk theory about the show and storylines."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all the time. Like I said, with Angela, a lot, and also too. So I won't say the character's name so you don't get confused. With Bacta, we do that a lot, and me and Ellis, and also I think more than anybody, me and Fatima, we speak a lot about the theory and about the cast. We sit down and we read the scripts and debate depending on like what's happening and what's happened in the past. So it's all, we're also part of this this journey with you, and that's what I find so exciting about this show.
Yeah. And the last question from 916.
And what is her significance in the reason that he was on the bus?
We talked about that.
Lastly, you really get your flirt on. There's Julie, and then there's Sarah. Who is Elgin really liking? Julie or Sarah? Anyway.
Who is Elgin really liking?
Yeah, the crush question.
Oh, the good question. That's hard to say. I feel like at one point, definitely, Elgin was intrigued with Sarah because I guess he sensed an oddness with her that he could identify with, kind of an oddball. And I felt like Elgin in himself never really did fit in his life before from. And so like he did feel a bit of a connection with Sarah.
Yeah.
Of course, he got a bit perturbed by like what she told him about what she done did to her brother and stuff. But yeah, but now I do feel because of the confidence that he has with Julie, there is something that I feel like is growing there, and we'll see where it goes. But yeah,
when Hannah came on, we asked her how she played that scene. She said she definitely played it with a lot of flirtness involved.
well, I knew. Oh yeah, I could. Yeah,
flirting back and forth. That's the way she played the scene and everything. But now, after you almost got drowned, you may be like, "Yo, short, I ain't messing with you."
I know. I told her.
Yeah, you told me to do this. I almost got killed.
I followed her every instruction, every word.
Worst advice ever. Oh my god. Speaking of the worst advice ever, we're on the road with dumbass number 1 and dumbass number 2, Jim and Randall. And Randall's like, what's the damn point of this radio stuff? What if this experiment? And they just go back and forth, and they talk about Sarah. Randall is like, acting the tough guy. I don't know how she's breathing. This guy's a great actor because I'm sure he's a nice guy in real life, but I hate this dude on screen. He's like such a good, hateable dude. And and Jim is just his Beavis to his butthead. And just like, yeah, that's right. Oh yeah. Could be this person. And they're just perfect off each other, and it's infuriating but so real. And their idiocracy just work off each other to the point of Randall just basically using this as fuel. I'm not sure if he just didn't even try to get the drone to go higher, because he's already got his plan. He's gonna get up in people's faces and get in his little spy shack, hiding out and listening to people. Randall's a scary person, Tony. He's very scary.
There's no doubt about it. And that brings up this super chat from Sloth right here about Randall. And he says, am I the only one that likes Randall? It's about damn time someone comes in and questions people in the town to find out who's in on this. I've questioned Donna from the jump. She enjoys being there. So I agree that, it's about time that people do start asking other people questions, but I just think there's a way to go about it. You know what I mean? You just can't, listen, you can't just go kidnapping people and bagging people up and stuff. We're going to get to that as it goes. But I thought the actor seems like a cool cat. I heard he likes to break dance and shit.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah, he break dance like crazy.
Oh, man.
Like crazy.
Like crazy. He's this people. I'm going to see this dude, man. You're going to have to see what's good with it. Where's he from? This dude Australia?
He's from London.
He's from London.
Yeah, he's from London.
We got to see this breakdancing. I heard about this breakdancing.
Oh, he's breakdancing.
So we got this dude breakdancing. We got Kenny's jiu-jitsu fighter.
Breaking people's necks. Oh, yeah.
We're just wrapping people up, going to join the UFC after this.
Might as well.
Everyone's got talents on the side and stuff like that. And then you are a singer, from what I've heard, from a Scott.
Singer and bass player. Bass.
You're a bass player. That is what's up. That's what's up, brother. That's what's going on.
Yeah, we try. And Fatima, she's an amazing singer, incredible. Hannah too. I say Hannah sing. That's what I say. Hannah sing.
Nobody raps over there.
Of course, y'all rap. Oh, also, Randall, Randall and Ellis, they rap.
Oh,
and also, I gotta say, Kenny rap too. Because when we all get together, we just put the beats on and we just go like.
We gotta get into a freestyle session.
Oh, for real? No, for real.
I'm dead ass about it. I'm dead ass about doing it. We'll do.
You come in too. You say you rap too, Tony. So might as well.
I'll play the beat for everyone in the back.
Film the beat for us.
Yo, the Burford rap music, right? This is what it is. So I definitely represent for my hood all of that. About
it. It is.
Let's take this. John wants to know: who would Elgin pick for love? Fatima, Sarah, Julie, or Christy?
Listen, Fatima is pregnant. I can't pick. And she's my proxy. I can't pick Fatima. See, Sarah is like mysterious, but also, there's a real sweet heart to her as well. That's why I was withdrawn. Of course, Julie is sweet. Like she's like your dog. Like she supports you.
Young though, right, Julie?
Yeah. She's young too. That's one thing about it. And Christy though, Christy's messy because Christy got like Kenny pining over and also like her actual fiance is also there too. So that's something that Elgin would definitely steer away from. But
that'd be a messy situation.
I don't know. She walked around in that shirt, pulling that flash dance situation that you were from. You might change your mind on that.
Listen, I don't even want enemies. Christy could dance. That's another talent. Christy Chloe can dance. She can dance. Dance something serious. Her and Harold both can dance something serious.
Harold, I know
Harold.
about Harold. He was on Fame back in the day.
Oh yeah.
He was on Fame. So Harold's doing that. You know, he went to dance school. Harold's from Brooklyn. That means he was a b-boy. He was doing all the breakdance and everything back in his era because that's when that thing was starting off. So I guarantee he could do all that. See, he's got all that stuff. And listen, if you went in Fame with Debbie fucking Allen, you got to dance.
Yeah,
you got to. She ain't just picking anybody. You got to be nice to get up on there. You know what I mean? So he definitely got us. We're gonna try to get Harold up on there.
Make him dance. Make him dance too. Yeah.
Drop
a beat for him.
Nathan, I know you're like a theater geek like me. When you do theater, do you musical theater or more like comedies or
more
drama?
So I do a lot of comedies. I love dramas though. I love that's my favorite, but I do a lot of comedies. And musical theater's I don't need one like musical theater type show, but like as of more recently with theater, I've done more so some comedies, and a lot of dramas too. Like oddly enough, Shakespeare. That's my
Oh, nice.
I don't know. Yeah, that's crazy. Shakespeare. I love Shakespeare. Yeah.
And speaking of Harold, one of his big first roles is playing Mercutio in the Romeo and Juliet, Baz Luhrmann. And that was one of the best Shakespeare movies ever made. Yeah, which is what's one thing that's great about the Bard and his work and stuff is that you can put it to a lot of really good stuff. Is a good Ian McKellen movie where I think it's like Richard II or something, or one of the Richard.
I haven't seen that one. Yeah,
it's good. Like sometimes it's interesting adaptations. I was in a play version of The Complete Works Abridged, which is sort of like a comedy doing all the plays in 1 hour. It's pretty fun. Anyways,
wait, I think I know that play. Yeah. I think I know.
Yeah, it's like three people and you're like dressing costumes.
Yes.
I played like Juliet and Ophelia. I played like that role. You have to like throw a bottle of water in your face and run around and go, I'm drowning. You know, it's ridiculous. Anyways, speaking of ridiculous, Randall and Jim, they feed into each other's paranoia. And says, did you see anyone die? And I think what's interesting here is that, he's a dumbass, but if all three of us put ourselves in this position, we don't know what we know from watching the show. Would some of the stuff what Randall's saying actually makes sense? And you were hinting at this too, Tony. It's not necessarily that he's not asking some of the right questions. It's the Big Lebowski thing that I say all the time. You're right, Walter. You're just an asshole. This guy is an asshole, and Tabitha calls Jade an asshole later in the episode. But no, this guy is a dangerous powder keg.
Is he an asshole or is he a dick? I would say he's more of a dick than an asshole.
Yeah, powder keg is a good example.
You know what? Can I cape for Randall right quick?
Yeah, go right.
Not just because AJ's my boy, but
no, AJ's great.
What I know about with Randall is he first shows up, and the first thing they do is they take all his stuff, especially his guns, and tell him you can't have your guns, and that he has to trust these people with guns. Even though the first minute he got off the bus, some random lady with a shotgun just blows off the tire off the bus, right? And then he goes into this house that they made him go to, and then someone's stealing his stuff, so he beats them up. Yep. And then he gets kicked out, right? So I feel like he's been having a lot of hostility, and he doesn't even know what's going on. And so this is in a way I'm not going to speak for AJ, but a way for him to fight against the man, and
I feel what you're saying, but I got to call cap on some of that real quick, and that's because when we first are introduced to the character, it's your character we get introduced to first. You're having an episode on the bus, right? And then you go up there, and this episode that you had was so traumatic, it makes you throw up. You hit this dude to throw up, and all of a sudden he's calling you you're a freak. You're a freak. I mean, I've seen people throw up before. I've never thought the word freak to him, And then, so he was testy before he got off the bus.
That is true. That is. He was on something. He was on a tip, and as soon as he got off, he was on something. But that's my only defense, though. That's my only defense.
No, and I mean, you make a good point. Like if you seeing everything he's been thrown right here, and that's why I think Donna says it later. And whether we want to talk about Donna's shady appearances and we showed up at the wrong place at the wrong time several times tonight, if that's just fun editing or interesting way that they developed this episode, but she says it. He's a powder keg, and and Jim is really adding gasoline, and we'll get back to that in a second. So Sarah comes back in this episode. We have her and Boyd in the next scene, sitting trying to come up with a plan with the goo. Boyd's trying to come up with the bile, and she's bored and she wants to get out of this town and she masks it like, let me go out there and go back on the mission. And Harold, in that awesome way he does, just breaks her down. He's like, that's not really what you want to do. And you just want to run, and we can't take the easy fix anymore. You need shit to do. We can fix that. And he's going to go to Donna and ask her for help. So you get Sarah's perspective because you're her only friend. And maybe you can't answer this. Maybe you can. You were stealing food from her, right? Were you stealing food for Sarah?
What? Let's say, nah. That was my food. That was my own food. That's what I'm gonna die on that hill. That's mine.
That's just Kim Mayweather. Thank you for the super chat. She wants to know, Nathan, have you explored the town/site? Is there any history to this site? And so you live on the site during filming. Do you live on this place? I guess she's talking about the set itself.
The set. Yeah, no, there's no history to the set. Let me think right quick. No, I don't think there's much history to it. They did build it like from the ground up. The entire town, the pool and everything. Like the crew based in Nova Scotia, they built that whole setup just for the show, and it's still there too. And during the year, I go and explore, see what I can find and hang. It's surreal though. Like it's actually surreal. Like the degree to detail that they put into the town. Even every house is unique in its own special way. And that
must have been so
much fun. I don't stay there though. I don't stay there. I don't live there. No, I don't live there. No, don't stay. I go back. I drive for 35 minutes out to my mom's, and I crash in her basement. Yeah.
And that's what it is.
Let's get to another voicemail. This is from Jay Hall.
Real quick before you play. I see there's a lot of people. We have over almost 500 people watching live. Make sure you thumbs up for your boys up in here rocking with you. I see questions. It's hard for me to get to them. If you really want your question answered, I'm not going to tell you the super chat so I can see it. You could do that, but call in 781-990-8509.
Yeah, call me.
Call. It's easier. Then we could definitely get to it. You know what I mean? If you have something, so try to call in if you can. The number's on.
And if you're shy, you can text as well, and we'll make sure we get to as many of them as we can tonight. And this is from our good buddy Jay Hall.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? This is Jay Hall, 612. I don't have no crazy theories for you down today. I just got some flowers to hand out, man. I appreciate the streams y'all do. Maybe have the extra streams on Saturday. Y'all do your thing. Elgin, my man, glad to see you. I know you know everything.
Too, man.
Just don't tell us right now. Appreciate y'all, man.
Jay Hall, just wanted to show you some love.
Thank you, Jay Hall. Thank you.
And this is just a regular question, area code 207.
What's up, Philly? What's up, Teflon? Josh Waterman calling from area code 207 up in Maine. Has been watching pretty much everything on your channel for a couple of weeks now, binge watching it along with the show. Really wanted you guys to talk a bit more about what you think the implications of the theory you've spoken of the roles that folks are filling in different roles. Heard a lot about it. Just wondering what kind of implications you guys think that'll have on the overall story. Kind of where you think that's going.
I'm not sure I understood the roles, meaning like in the poem, the what you were talking about, Tony.
I don't know. I don't understand. I didn't get the question. He would have to call back and clarify for me.
The roles.
Yeah, the rules. I don't know. Are you saying rules? The rules that I don't know. The town, like Kenny shouldn't be holding no gun when he's not.
I was hungry. I was thinking about baking bread rolls in the belly.
Cat gangster, son. He was ready to blow that chick's head off with the rod in it. He was like, "Yo, give it to me. I'll take it."
Yo, he's wild, man.
He's gonna shoot bugs tonight too. He run out quicker than Boyd. He was like, "I'm gonna play duck hunt, bang on that thing." Oh, roles roles like the bar. Oh, folks filling in roles in the town, meaning like if like the bartender disappears and and some people die, filling in new roles within the town. Is that what they meant?
Yeah, Bata is gonna be the new bartender. That's my prediction. Yeah, she gotta take because we've seen her up in the bar already, so we know.
Yeah.
And she a bus driver. She seemed like she liked to talk, so she probably gonna be up in there in the bar, running the bar with her and Jade, but she behind the bar. So.
Joshua says that's what he's talking about, like filling in there. It's interesting. Something I mentioned later. In this season, it seems like the relationship that Boyd had with Father Cautry is similar to the relationship this season he has with Donna. Like they have a similar back and forth. Donna's replaced that role, sort of a foil within his mind to tell him to go fuck off when he needs to hear it sometimes. Yeah. And the only person that sort of has the juice in town to be able to tell Boyd to go bleep himself. So yeah, I mean, and she has been picking up her emotional connection in the sense of some of her I'm calling them Aunt May speeches that she's giving to people, you know, those heart-filled speeches, you know, a hope is on the other side of a nightmare, you know, things like that. Sloth says, why doesn't anyone question, this is super chat from Sloth, why doesn't anyone question the random lake that's there? Does anyone see where the water is coming from? Build a boat and go as far as you can.
I mean, people, I think people up in there, listen, you got to look at what, I'm going to let my man answer, but to me, you got to look at what was going on up in here. Fatima came up there with all the weed. These dudes are smoking mad weed. They humping each other all the time.
All the time.
They're not thinking of some people. This is life may be better here.
Yeah.
Hey, you're not wrong.
You know what I'm saying?
You're not wrong.
Like I used to work at a spot in this distribution center, and we used to say it like, "Yo, if you were 5 on the real world in this distribution center, you were 8." You know what I mean? When you walk through that door, you go up 3 points.
Tony,
that's why like that. Like this was a collection. Dude was like, yo, I wasn't getting nothing in the outside world. I'm good with this.
Tony, that's what makes it so horrible for Porn Stash, the guy that let Jasmine Creature in, because he must have done so bad even at Colony House that he's like looking to the monsters. Like he's
Porn Stash was up in there with his
Porn Stash. You gotta kill me.
He's smoking weed, looking out the window like, dude, look at that monster. She's pretty hot.
Oh my god.
Like, yeah, but she just ate somebody. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, she's sweet. Trust me.
Here's a voicemail from the amazing Anna from Red Lipstick Club.
Red Lipstick.
Hey, Tony, Phil, and welcome, Nathan. This is Anna from Red Lipstick Club. I have to ask, the cast is incredibly diverse. I don't know how many really diverse casts you've been on before, but I'm curious as to how that has impacted your experience on the show. Having such a diverse cast of ages and ethnicities and races, how has that impacted your experience? Thanks so much for joining. Have a good day.
Yeah, well, for me, it has impacted me in definitely positively because it's like different experiences, you know, people from different backgrounds coming together, and just the way we all breathe together, and like the way we approach characters based on like where we've, you know, come from and who we are. It just it makes it much more, you know, lively. You know what I mean? Even like talking with Pega. I'm bringing Pega up right now. That's my girl. But like talking with Pega, like we're talking through things in scripts, and she's saying, you know, I feel like an Iranian woman would, you know, say it this way or do this, and it just, even through the characters and the character development, everyone has a unique thing. Like me as a Black person, you know, not having a lot of money coming out of Michigan, I feel like Elgin's background would have been a different one. So he's going to react differently when like someone pulls a gun out, you know what I mean? Compared to like, so just from like, you know, it keeps it more lively, I can say. Yeah,
more realistic. Like, I've seen this before. I'm not just gonna act like someone, you know, the Michigan, I ain't gonna act like someone who's never seen anything like that.
Yeah, exactly.
React a little differently. B. Stevens says, man, why does Donna always have her hands in her pocket? She does. That he but now that he says it for real,
with an emergency button in her pocket. Oh my God!
She's walking like this. She's talking to Ben. She's talking to Ben Linus. The button and
got the emergency button in her pocket.
Oh my
The
god.
Morse code in the pocket.
Y'all are observant, man. Oh my goodness.
I never knew it, but now that he says it,
I
that's more
realize.
about it. The hands is always in the pockets. Always.
It's
I'm
true.
gonna ask Liz. When Liz come on here again, we're gonna ask her, why'd you play it that way? With the
Always
heads
in the pocket.
Yep. And she did complain about her headaches a few times. Let's take a couple more voicemails before we get back to the recap. This is from Mika.
Good evening, guys. It's Mika Lee from Key Largo. What's up, Tony? Hey, Phil. I miss you. And hey, Nathan. Nice to see you on the best channel ever, right? Just wanted to say I think you're wonderful on the show. It's my favorite show. I'm a diehard fan, and I really hope to see you at our FromCon. And I also would like to know what your favorite color T-shirt is and what size is. Tony, I don't know why I asked you that. And,
I think she wants to bring you a T-shirt. What?
Oh,
yeah.
My size. I like wearing extra large. You know, I like the baggy stuff. And brown. Brown's my favorite color. So, yeah, T-shirt that's brown. That's I'm wearing. I know I say that as I'm wearing blue, but like brown is like, yeah, that's my favorite color.
Perfect. And we're getting lots of voicemails. We will get to as many of them as we can. We'll go back and forth between the recap and get to the voicemails, but back off to the recap a little bit. Boyd says leaving would be the easiest thing to do. We don't get to be easy. Then we go off to a very interesting part of the episode with the Tabitha and the Jade stuff, looking at the caves. Tabitha finally showing someone where the caves are, where the symbol was. And where the monsters live and where she first saw the kids. He says it has to mean something. He talks a little bit about chaos theory and explains the butterfly effect. People that want to know, chaos theory is the branch of mathematics that deals with complex systems whose behavior is highly sensitive to slight changes in conditions. So the smallest alterations can rise to striking consequences like the butterfly effect, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Jade realizes that Victor lied to him and he loses it. And he says, on the Venn diagram of crazy, we have one thing in common, and it's goddamn Victor. And hard cut to Victor. It's really good. And Jade is hilarious, but when he's raging like this, he's very scary. You know, he was unhinged in this episode. Someone needs to get him his rolling papers. We need to get Jade some more rolling papers.
That's what happened. He lost the weed. He lost his weed, and you see what happens when he's going. He's fiending right now.
You know,
but he wasn't crazy enough to bring his ass up in that cave. He looked at that hole, but he didn't put his ass up down in there. He didn't go back up in there, nothing like that, and everything else. When working with the actor who played, have you had any scenes with him yet? That we've seen so far. I don't think so.
With Victor?
No, with Jade.
With Jade, no.
With Jade, no.
Yeah,
no.
He's had the scene with Victor.
Victor doesn't like
no, Victor doesn't like me.
Victor doesn't like me.
Yeah, I don't know why you don't like me, fam.
Yeah,
he was giving you stinky eyeballs like,
the whole time.
Get everything out. Let's take two. We have two super chats here. Let me take them quick. From King Hazy says, "Hey Teflon, first time catching you live, kind of random, but I had a good laugh at the way you pronounce cicadia."
That's what you say, cicadas.
I'm not even trying. I'm just saying bugs.
Listen, these goddamn bugs. You know, we used to take those bugs and tie them on strings and then twirl them around, and then they would make that noise.
Oh my god,
so evil,
disgusting.
We used to do that. I learned that from my cousins down south. And I don't speak the Queen's English. Sorry about that. Ryan, thank you so much for the super chat. 1999 says, "Great show, much love. Thank you, Tony, for breaking it down for my slow ass." No, listen, I'm here for you, man. I'm here for you. That's what we do here and everything else. Thank you so much. It's very generous, very generous. You know? No, people know that if y'all from down south, they call them June bugs down south.
Yeah, we got them in Scotia. June bugs, hate them.
Yeah, and you can wrap them up, man. You can wrap them up in a string. That's the way it was, man. No. Listen, it ain't. That's what it was back in the day. I don't hear nothing about it. Everyone know that. You know, that's the way it was, man. Y'all trying to act a different, little funny on there. No,
listen, they're disgusting. I hate it. I can't.
Yeah, they are. And
it's gross.
Oh my god,
it's fucking gross. Area code 773.
What's up, suspects? This is Jesse J2G 773. Made an episode, but let me hurry up before Phil cuts me off.
What?
So I think it's only one way that Donna survives any of this. One way, and that's if Julie, because I don't think Jim has a dog in this fight at all. If he's injured, he's not going to be able to do nothing but stall time. I think Julie's going to do exactly what she's supposed to do and tell Tabitha, like Jim said, and Tabitha is going to tell Jade because she's been hanging with Jade. I think Boyd and them is busy, and they're going to be busy taking their shifts. So it's going to be Tabitha is going to tell Jade, and Jade is going to snatch up Victor and say, let's go. And Victor, I believe, is going to attempt to shoot Randall. I think he might shoot Randall, and in the commotion, Donna still might get it. But I think that's the only way that he can escape this situation is if Julie goes and does exactly what she's supposed to do. What y'all think about that?
All right, let's talk about that. We're jumping around now. This is the end. Let's take it. Let's do it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and I'll yada when we get to it.
We'll go through this thing. All right. So, Nathan, you seen the scene. You seen your boy Randall. What do you think? You just defended him, saying, "Are you going to defend him again for grabbing up Donna like that, and beating her in the head, and pulling up in there, or what?"
I can't do all that, but no, I can't do all that. He was wild for that. That's crazy. I was, even like reading the scripts, I was like, and part of me was rooting for Randall because he's asking the questions no one's like, trying to ask, right? And but I think it's gone too far now. I don't even know how he's gonna, turn around and get out of this because you're shitting where you sleep. Sorry, I don't know if I can curse, but
You can definitely curse on this.
yeah, you're shitting where you sleep. You know what I mean? Like, without Donna already, Boy don't like you, and now you're gonna mess with Donna, like, yeah, and it's getting nighttime too, so you gotta you need to stay somewhere, like.
Yeah, one of them is gonna die. Not all of them gonna survive this. There's 3 of them out there. So you got Randall, you got Jim, you got Donna. One of them's got to go. There's no other way around this whole situation. Someone's got to die. I think that most likely it's, we've talked about this from episode 1 on the death list that Donna was number 1 on my death list.
Really?
I thought, yeah, because I think that when you look so one of the main cast got to go. You look at Donna, the reason why she can go is, number 1, it will be an emotional toll for people. They'll be emotional if she dies. And you can replace her with Fatima to take over Colony House.
Yeah, or Ellis. Both of them could fill that role.
So you could get rid of her for that reason, I think. Now, I think that they kind of foreshadow what's going to happen because when he was talking to Randall, Jim said, and Randall goes, well, that was my kid. She wouldn't be alive, talking about this chick, about messing with his son. And he goes, well, I'm not going to let this place turn me into something that I'm not. Right? Saying that he didn't want to kill this Sarah because of that. I think that's foreshadowing that he's going to have to kill this dude. And this place is going to turn him into something that he's not. Because he's going to have to take out Randall. And so I think that's why they put that line there. So I think it's a good chance that probably Jim, his limping ass. He's the only one limping. Everyone else, Ellis gets stabbed in the chest. Yeah. This motherfucker. He like nothing.
He's fine.
He's doing jumping jacks, backflips.
Oh my gosh.
He's ready to make another baby.
He's like, I can only do one arm push-ups now. Sorry,
exactly.
And this dude's limping. He's been
Jim's still limping.
He's still limping. He's limping.
But it's true.
What's going on? Phil, what do you think? How do you think that's going to play out in the end with them?
I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. I mean, I don't think Jim is going anywhere. I think it does seem like Donna is in some danger, but I don't know. It's hard for me to imagine that anyone's going to go anywhere but Randall. I think Donna's in more control of the situation than you think. I think she can and will handle Randall in the end.
She may just fake and admit to be the mole.
Yeah.
Just to get untied.
She's gonna play him, I think. And she's gonna play the situation and find her opportunity and just kind of mind fuck him a little bit, I think.
No doubt about it. Jamal Marks wants to know, Nathan, he says, Nathan, I love your energy. Keep up the good work. If you could play any character other than Elgin, who would it be?
If I could play any character other than Elgin, I don't know. I can't say that. I'm gonna change it. I'll be different. Honestly, I want to play like Boyd is a simple one. Boyd, that's a fun character. Randall, I love villains. I don't know why. Taking Shakespeare, I love Aaron, the manipulator behind it all. Like, so Randall's definitely another one. And strangely enough, Jade. I love to play Jade. That his energy is like, and it's like infatuating. Like, yes,
You can play it so big. You can play it to the back of the audience.
Back of the seater, right?
Back of the seat, yeah. Play to the back.
He's just like Victor. Like Victor be playing like he's a child, but Jade's a child too. He's a big kid.
Yep.
He's a big kid.
Yeah. Oh, now you're yelling at me too, right? That's
tantrums, Tony.
He's just like that.
Mr. Tantrum.
Well, he's all about that. You know what I mean? They're not far apart on the spectrum. You know what I mean? When it's all said and done.
So the Jade missile is on its way in as we hard cut to Victor going to see the Matthews, saying hi to Julie, and waits outside. Julie thanks him for saving his life. Victor brought Ethan a jacket. This reminded me of
ass jacket too.
Yeah,
it reminded me musty jacket. Ain't got no Febreze up in that.
Dude, it was like the Sopranos. Yeah, with Richie and Trio giving it to Tony like the jacket. I got the jacket. And yeah, it's musty. Watch that thing. Watch that thing.
I want to say something too, like theory wise. I'm probably no one to say that, but like with Randall, remember even the first season, like what I found interesting is Randall thinking it's all a simulation. That was Jade's when he first showed up. He also thought it was
an escape room or something like that, or some sort of simulation
town. Yeah.
I mean, like a Truman Show type situation.
I mean, that's what I was kind of hinting at earlier. I think if any of us, or I can't speak for you guys, but if I don't know anything about the show and I'm actually put in this situation, that would probably be my instinct too at first. It would take a lot for me to finally be like, I'm trapped in this looping town. I mean, I'm not going to say it's easier for Elgin, but Elgin having these visions and feeling the energy from the place is a little bit more of a feeling of seeing how real it is, and you've had the direct contact with everything that happened, and with the Smiley and the night with everything going on. So you've seen it more direct. But thinking about Randall, not to defend him in his dickishness, but from his perspective, and Jim to a certain extent too, where they're kind of conspiracy theory nuts, you can almost see where their craziness is coming from.
Yeah,
they're just, even though they're being idiots about it, being extra idiots about it.
Yeah, it's that sense like wanting questions answered that like people can't answer for you. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel that's a sentiment a lot of us can get behind and feel.
I think someone was messing with me as well.
Yeah, listen, before we go, because we didn't have you on, we have a chance to have you on now. We got to talk about your scene that we had before, the car scene.
The car scene.
How was that filming that scene? Because I thought it was a great shot. The way they used the camera inside it, it really made us feel like we was in the car with you and everything else. How was it filming that scene?
Oh, it was fun, stressful, scary, all of it. Like, it was like middle of the night. Like I was so tired too. I think we shot earlier in that evening and then had like a hour or two nap, and then I had to get in there. And It was a lot of fun and stressful. Like I was actually driving that truck. I call it a bus because it felt like a bus. I was driving that, and like a cameraman Grizz was in behind me with sitting right behind me over my shoulder with like a steady cam going back and forth. And I don't know, like they brought the monsters out on the day, which I love because it's like it feels real. Some people I haven't seen before, and you turn your head and you see a different one, at a different point. So it keeps you really, I guess, in a heightened state. And I kept just like laying on the gas, and Grizz kept flying back into the bus. So we had to tighten that up. And but it was actually one of the favorite scene I've ever shot in the whole thing. It was it was fun. Like that's it. Stressful part was almost knocking Grizz out. But like other than that, it was so
Listen,
much
it
fun.
probably could be, in
Great.
all honesty, the best shot scene that they've had in the show so far in both seasons. Without a shadow,
Jay.
probably one of the most memorable scenes, if you ask me, and everything else about it. Sloth was asked another question. They can be super chases. Don and Victor are the moles. Victor for sure knows what's going on and knows the people who are doing this to them. We're going to get more into Victor Sloth. We'll talk more about that when we get through the breakdown and everything. But I do remember that question, so thank you for the super chat. Donna, I don't know about Victor, but I could see them both going down that.
So our next scene that we get to is sort of a forgotten about scene in the episode. We get Boyd and Ellis, and Ellis is showing Boyd is showing concern for the stabbing, and it's like we all said, he's healed like Wolverine. He's like, yeah, I can't do push-ups, but I'm fine. Look, my arm's doing good. I know if I hit my shoulder on the door, it's hurting for a week, but then Ellis is like, oh, I'm fine. Do you guys, Nathan, you might not be able to answer this as much. Tony, do you think there's some sort of healing factor here where Ethan last season seemed to heal a little quick? Everyone but Jim seems to be healing at a quicker pace.
That's comical.
I will say that from what we've seen so far, Ethan is healed quicker with the stab through his leg. Jade, and Ellis has healed quicker. So to me, what this makes me think about Pega, I'm telling you, this is what I'm thinking. Like next time we see her, she's gonna be 3 months pregnant. Next time we see after that, she's gonna be 6 months, and she's gonna be giving birth next season.
Yeah.
And episode 4, she's gonna have that baby. That baby
2 months pregnancy.
That baby is coming. Let me just say this: we have over 540 people watching right now. People are telling me there's only 200 likes. Y'all gotta hit the like button for you boys up
Hit the like button, man.
Hit the like button. It ain't nothing to do that. If not, we're gonna have to go to member only chat. So hit the like button so we keep up everybody up in here. All right, hit the like button. It ain't hard to do that. You know what I mean? And Bruna is saying Brasilio. What are you saying? I don't know, but it sounds like Brazil something. And
yeah, I think sending us love from Brazil.
Love from Brazil. I think she's sending you right here and everything.
Thank you. That's one place I gotta go, Brazil. That's one place.
You and me both.
I'll jump along on that trip too.
Jump along Nashville and then Brazil. That's what we doing.
That's no doubt about it. Nashville's definitely happening. We'll work on it, Brazil.
So Boyd shows some love for his son, and it's good to see these scenes because they were estranged essentially at the beginning of last season. So it's good to see them have a few more moments. Ellis seems really happy, and I know he was high on my death watch going into the season. And Tony was talking about how we got the almost death earlier in the season, so we probably won't get his death or something later this season. I'm still worried about Ellis. He seems too happy right now.
He's always happy. Yeah.
He seems so happy. He's so happy it's scaring me. And that's the thing that's scaring me about Ellis, and that we have a sense of security because he did have the near-death experience, so we won't be thinking about something bad happening to him. But I don't know. I'm scared for Ellis for sure. So Donna takes him away, and Ellis. And if anything that makes some people infuriating sometimes watching is the fact that people sometimes on all shows do this. And this is one of my least favorite television show things where it's like, Tony, I'm about to tell you something really special. It can wait. You know, and Alice is like, I'll wait to tell you about the pregnancy till next time. You go off and walk to Donna because this isn't important. It's whatever. And we get Donna, and she's like, what the fuck? I'm fine. I'll give Sarah a job. She's bored, but we've got bigger issues here. Madman's locked in the room. People in the house are going on edge. And Elgin almost drowned in his sleep last night. And he's like, what? And then we go off to your scene. Awesome scene that you got to have with Harold here. Did you know how to knit, or did you get to select that as your actifier, or did they want you to?
No, they want me to crochet. I couldn't crochet before, but I went and I got some lessons, right? So I can make a circle, and that's what I pride myself in now. I can do a circle. Yeah,
that's what it. So all right, this scene. Let's talk about it real quick. So we seen you before. You know, it was a dream sequence, but somehow all of a sudden you were actually drowning, and you actually spit up water. Now, when you're saying spit up water, you're saying it was a significant amount of water that you were able to realize that it was water, right?
Yeah. Like literally dry, like a bathtub full, like in my lungs and stuff. Like,
Oh,
yeah.
See, so they said, so now we know it's usually you spit up a shit ton of water and everything else, and you almost drown in your sleep and everything else, and you come up with the idea of the silver bullet.
Yeah.
Of the bile bullet. The bile bullet.
The bile bullet. I like that better. The silver bullet. I like the bile bullet.
Bile bullet. And
yeah, you know. Yeah, it kind of makes sense though. You know that they had the worms in your blood, and the only thing left is that juice inside a dead corpse. Then at least try, right?
Yeah,
like see if you can kill more of them with it.
And it connects more to the history of horror with Silver Bullet and werewolves and all of that. And this was just a great scene with you and Boyd where you explain the dream, as Tony was saying. You got pushed under the water. Someone, and you don't necessarily specify what you saw. You just said something pushed me and I spit up lots of water. Again, another Nightmare on Elm Street thing. I mentioned Nancy from Nightmare on Elm Street. It seems like something when you touch something in the dream right now, you guys can bring it through. And so maybe that will come into play later on. Maybe this can be used as a weapon of sorts. I know if we go to Nightmare on Elm Street, that's how they got Freddy in the first movie. Nancy had the power because she held his hat and could bring it into the real world, and then eventually grabbed him and brought him into the real world. And then Kristen had a similar power in part 3 where she could and which connected to all the dream powers. But perhaps we'll see that, because I don't know if it's going to be as simple. I know we're jumping ahead here. I don't think it's going to be as simple as, oh, we burned Smiley's body. Now this dream thing isn't going to happen. It seems to have spread. We get the townsfolk guy that got messed with the bugs. Because my question is this a nightmare or is it a Jumanji thing where once Kenny has brought these into the world, so now they're out in the world messing with people, or did it haunt somebody else's dreams? What do you think?
Asking me, I do like that. I do kind of like. I have my own theories about like what's happening, and I feel actually I think I can't. I don't think am I spoiling any. Hold on, give me 5 seconds. Let me think right quick.
Think about it.
Okay, I can say this. One of my personal from watching the episode, my personal theory is I found it very interesting that after Smiley was dead, cicadas started coming out of his body, right? Like, I don't want to say like dead, because for me, I'm like, he's dead, but like obviously when they went to cut him, he moved, and then when they left, all kinds of cicadas started coming out, and there was no cicadas in there before. So I feel like Smiley is transitioning, if that makes sense. That's
right.
My
Smiley has become the essence of Smiley is the essence of those bugs now. To take another cheesy 80s horror movie, there's a movie called Shocker. When this guy dies, he can zap himself into different bodies. It's interesting. The guy who does the main actor is the same guy who does the voice of Chucky, and it was a Wes Craven movie. It's cheesy as hell, but it's good.
Love it.
It's called Shocker.
Shocker.
It's really cheesy, but really fun. Really fun horror movie.
What did those cicadas? Did they come out of the worms?
I'm not even sure. I'm not. Yeah, I don't. But I maybe the bile. You know, I know they came out of his body though, because and then they were gone the minute they left. Gone. Right?
Were they really there? This is the whole thing too.
Good question.
We don't know if they're really there, or if they people that's imagining them. If the people who've seen the magic, the music box, are they imagining them? Because how'd they get out that room? Donna ain't seen them. You know what I mean? Only people who heard them or seen them have seen that damn music box. Everybody else that we've seen in the music, without the music box, we don't know if they've seen it or not. Leave me alone, Red Lipstick Club.
I'm not even trying, Tony. I'm not even trying. I'm just saying bugs. I'm saying it's back in the.
You say that word again. I want to hear you say it too. I forget what you said. I gotta remember.
Yeah, you gotta forget that. That is what I'm saying. Whatever they are.
Freaking bugs. And I see we've got tons of voicemails. We will get to all those voicemails, as many as we can. Let's get to a couple of voicemails right here. This is from area code 828.
Hi, Tony. Hi, Phil. Hi, Nathan.
Hey.
My name's Leia. I'm British, but I'm actually living in North Carolina now. Nathan, I absolutely love the show. My question is, does the cast actually know the whole story? Do you guys know, or are you sort of learning along the way as the audience is learning? Yeah, it would just be wonderful to know if you guys actually know the story, or if you're just as confused as us. Thank you. Love you guys. Bye.
Great call. Thank you so much, 828.
I say we know some stuff, certain details that I guess y'all may not know. Like about my character and stuff. The other things that I know about Elgin, which I'm not going to share now because they also may change in the future. But it's stuff that we're using to provide y'all with the story. But most of the time, we're learning, just right alongside you guys, and because we only get scripts like 2 weeks before. Like we get the scripts a week before we got to shoot them, sometimes less. So we're really taking it step by step, and sometimes the community even helps us understand stuff, and we're like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, that makes so much more sense, right? So yeah,
that must be so exciting every time you get a script to be able to dig into it like that. Here is another message from area code 256.
Hey, it's Michael from Alabama. My question, well, first of all, appreciate what you guys do. Love the show. Love your YouTube channel. My question is for Nathan Elgin. What as Elgin, what character do you depend on and lean on the most, since you kind of feel like a misfit or odd? Thank you.
Interesting question. I think I know what your answer is going to be, but what character does Elgin depend on the most?
First, I love that Alabama. I don't know if it's called Alabama, but I love that Alabama accent. That's crazy. For me, I feel like it's Julie, because for some reason I'm just like going with everything I'm buying into everything she's giving me. So definitely Julie, and also she's like a person that I feel finally that person I can truly connect with, and I feel comfortable with, and that I feel that sees me fully. Yeah.
Absolutely. You seem like, or the character of Elgin seems like he can relax and be the most himself when he's talking to Julie.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
He quiets the voices, quiets all the stuff. It seems like you're like in reality again in those situations. Even with Sarah, it's a little different. You're more protecting, and then you heard the brake screech, which is like, and I killed my brother.
Hold on. Back it up. What you say? Yeah.
Beep, 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 beep. Back up.
Again, I just checked the chat. We have almost 550 people watching, only 200 likes. Y'all gotta get the likes up, man. For real, you gotta hit the thumbs up for your boys. For real,
Yeah. One for me and one for Elgin. Yeah.
Your boy Nathan, he came over here rocking with us. The least you could do is thumbs up the video. You know what I mean? Come on, man.
Yeah.
That ain't nothing. We trying to do our thing here for you and everything else and all that good stuff. And Elgin even said he's gonna put in a word to try to get Kenny up in here.
I'm trying. I'm gonna try to get Kenny. Kenny might as well. Yeah.
So put the thumbs up for your boy. He's trying to get this going.
I'm doing it.
So our next scene that we get after this scene, after Elgin gets the genius idea for the silver bullets or the bile bullets, trademark Tony Teflon, Ethan and Julie are telling Victor about the internet. And again, it's one of those funny things that you just don't think about, but it's interesting. Like, if Victor would have no clue what that is, not believe it. You're making that up. That's magic. And this goes, I know it's subtle, Tony, but it's your thing about, magic is science that hasn't been invented yet. And it's to Victor, if you tell somebody, if you told me it's Doc Brown in Back to the Future, oh, this magic box that captures things, you're telling me Ronald Reagan was president? What the, like, you don't believe some of those things that you see. If you just tell someone about the internet, tell 5-year-old me about streaming, I'd be like, what is this magic you talk about?
That's so true. That is so true.
And it's just a great scene. And Julie says the jacket is musty. Kenny's mom's putting Vic to work. Ethan smells the jacket and finds the toy magic marker thing in the pocket, brings it to Victor, who's flabbergasted. Where'd you get that thing? And we get a flashback to Vic's mom giving him the toy marker and saying, be brave. And then Jade comes in like a whirlwind, like the Tasmanian devil, getting in his face. We had a deal. We had a deal. I play, you tell me. He's like gets all professional wrestler on, gets all heel. He's like, I'm gonna kill you, macho man. And he presses him. And then we get
he grabs him right by his shoulder. He grabs him right up. Like, yo.
He's giving him the Vulcan neck pinch, Tony.
He did give him the Vulcan neck pinch. He's like, you're just trying. He's just woke him up. He's like, yo, listen, you don't give me information right now. Give me that information.
Don't do everything. He just presses him, and then Ethan's like, "What tunnels?" And Tabitha's like, "Everything's okay." And what I love about this scene is something you could easily miss. The person that sticks up for Victor the most is Julie. She steps right in front of Jade and she's like, "Stop it! I'll fuck you up, Jade." And she was ready to throw down on Jade if he messed with Victor anymore in front of her. And that's
Victor
pretty awesome.
Saved her life. You know what I mean? Saved her mom's life.
Try to give a peaches.
They got a connection there. You know what I mean? They got a connection there. But she definitely stepped up and was like, "Yo, Jay, watch yourself."
Yeah, watch your mouth. Don't do that in front of me.
Watch yourself, violin boy. You don't exit here. We know who you are.
Julie was awesome, and then we get another awesome shot. There's been we were talking about the shot with you in the car, Nathan. This was another really good visual shot where the cameraman was walking back or dollying backwards while Victor was walking towards the camera with Jade behind him, screaming at him, "Oh, we had a deal!" And he grabs him again, says, "Stop." Jade's like, "Done fucking around. You can't pick and choose what you tell us. It all matters. How can we go home? Do you want to go?" Gets in his face. And Tony, you and I have talked about this since last year. Victor doesn't have a home, dude. Victor, this is his home, Nathan. Where else is he gonna go? I mean, where's he going home? Is he going to stay at your house? Not is he staying at Elgin's house? No, he's not.
No, this is all he knows. This is all he knows as a child. He knows nothing but this place, and he said it right here. You know what I mean? That this is my home. What do you think I got? I ain't got $1 billion. I ain't showing up in no Audi like you on tripping on ecstasy up in this piece. Yep. You know what I mean? This is all I got. I got nothing else but this place. And that's what it is. RC, he says, let me take this real quick. He said, "Do you think Randall attacked the couple in the house before kidnapping Donna?" What do you think? I don't know about that. I don't think he did. I don't know how he could have, but what do you think? I never really thought about it.
What I say? I don't know. I mean, I feel like that's something that I wouldn't put it past Randall, but yeah, I wouldn't put it past Randall, but I don't think the timing I don't think will line up properly to his mission right now.
Yeah, I think because when we see Randall, you see him spying on Donna and I'm seeing him sneaking and see his head just poking out. You know what I mean? He was focused on getting Donna. He's had it out for her
since the beginning.
From the beginning. Like he want her. Even with that tiny ass pocket knife he got. Yeah. Smallest knife you ever seen in your life.
Spinning it around, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this is some deadly weapon, dude.
I've got my Swiss Army knife here.
He might as well pull out the scissor attachment. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
All right, girl.
I'll cut you. Donna, and that's what I mean. Donna has him wrapped around his finger. So, and Tabitha is like, "Dude, and is it physically impossible for you not to be an asshole for longer than 10 minutes? And you're yelling at me again." And then she goes after Victor to go handle it with a good. Speaking of a good cop, bad cop situation. Both the Matthews do this because we go to good cop, we go to friggin' Riggs and Murtaugh here, Jim and Randall playing good cop, bad cop with Sarah. Yep. What's going on, Sarah? And we would totally play the good cop, bad cop game with her, totally messing with this poor girl's mind that lost her brother. And I know Sarah's done some bad shit, but you think your brother might be alive? Why don't you tell us about your brother?
That's
and
crazy
then
you said that, though.
and then Donna shows up exactly at the right moment again. And Randall is, perfect timing. You're just in here, and gets right in her face, like bodies her up, and gets close to her. And Donna tells him to get out of there. He's like, you think you got a power? Who are you? You're a toll booth operator. You're nothing. And Jim's just like, well, Jim doesn't even say sorry. He's just like, yeah. That's where, again, he's the Beavis. He's like, yeah. And he walks out. And he follows her out. And Donna's just like, the fuck? And Randall falls and he's like, maybe that was too much. And Randall's like, I don't want to make friends. And Jim's like, I looked in Sarah's eyes. I know she knows nothing. Okay, because you're such a great judge of character, Jim. And then Jim says, we got another plan. Let's sneak out, stay at night in the RV. And you can just see Randall's brain working the whole time. Like he's got his own plan now. Or at this point, he's just at any point in time, he's going to say, hey, Jim, thank you for your help right now. F off. Like I got my own agenda right now.
Yeah.
And it seems like, how Jim allowed Randall to play him is just funny. It shows you how Jim is not street smart at all.
Not at all.
No.
Jim's the type of dude to lose his money in 3-card Monte. Like
he's Randy Marsh from
Searching for the Ace. He's like, oh, I know what the Ace is. My whole paycheck. Sorry, bro. Give it.
Yeah, I can find which cup, which the ball's under which cup. He's Randy Marsh from South Park. He's like an idiot.
Yo, oh my God, he is.
He's people that are South Park. He's Randy Marsh from South Park. Triggity form. But
Jesse Fernandez says, thank you for the super chat. He goes, you can drill a hole in the tip of the bullet and fill it with vial and seal it with candle wax. I don't think they're gonna go through all that. I think they're gonna go through the fit. I think it's gonna dip it in there and bust it.
Yeah, that's what I think. Just dipping in.
I don't think they're gonna. I mean, realistically, obviously, you're not doing something like that. Right? The heat from the bullet would probably melt the thing off before. But this is a TV show. We can't go that nuts on it, man. Let's just take it for what it is. You know what I mean? Let's just take it for the way it goes and stuff like that, and everything else. But Jim just disappoints me for his lack of street smart. You know
Tony,
what I mean?
and it gets worse in this next scene, just to add a little more fuel to your fire, because there's not much to say. He goes and has it in the diner to talk to Julie, and he tells his 16-year-old daughter, I got a plan to get us out of here. I got a plan. This is going to get us out of here. I'm going to spend the night in the RV. Tell mom I'm going to, total Randy Marsh moment. Tell mom I'll be all right. And Julie's just like, okay. It was just the stupidest. Like Jim was not, and again, great actor, was like him and Randall, when I'm ragging on them, they were believable in these parts, but they were pissing me off tonight because of their stupidity and their lack of, as you said, Tony, street smarts, just complete lack of awareness that Jim has.
100%. Again, if they happen to watch, we talking about the characters, not the actors themselves.
No,
exactly.
I'm sure they have played roles. They understand. He understands. It means they're doing a good job.
Nathan said it. It's fun to play an asshole. It's fun to play. Fun to play an evil character. It's just a great time.
Yes.
I got to play a drug mafia kingpin kind of thing at one point. It's just fun to do evil things on screen. It's great.
Oh, it is. It's so fun, man. Oh, dang. I want to play more.
Have you mainly got to play like a bad guy in theater or stuff, like in Shakespeare and stuff? Have you ever what are some of the other work that you've done that people can go out and see if they want to see more of what you did?
I did a lot of theater. Hold on. For film and movies, I played a small thing on something called Digstown. Another little small role. It's not out yet though. Called on a show called Washington Black, Disney show. But
Digstown, the movie Digstown with the boxing movie?
No. It's a TV show. It's a TV show. Right. Canadian broadcast channel CBC put it on. I played like this person trying to just come and steal some people's land and whatnot. But yeah, so that was the closest to like a character that I got to play, and I just I was trying to do like a mafia, like a devil behind a nice smile type of character I was trying to play on. So that was the closest though. That was the closest that I got to do anything like that. But yeah,
maybe
but in theater though, I've only played, I guess, like the love interest or the nice guy. I don't get to play villains that often though, and I love playing villains. I played a villain once, if you call it villain. So like Othello, like that's in theater school, but that's as close as I ever got to it. But yeah.
And Iago's more the villain in that.
Yeah.
Othello was more just manipulated into villainous acts.
How did turned into the monster.
And turned into the it's Iago's.
Yeah. How did you get into acting to begin with?
How to get into acting? That's something I always liked doing as a kid, right? Through elementary, I always wanted to do it. In high school, I was like a band geek and a theater geek with my drama program, Miss Kennedy, and she really helped me focus on like wanting to do that instead of playing like football. I played football in high school, and then for some reason I decided, I know why, my father was like, you got to go get a good job, so go do sciences. So I went and did sciences, failed at that miserably. And but at the same time, I found theater, and it was like at the school I went to, and it felt right, you know what I mean? And then it just started putting all that like that hustle energy that I learned from my family, and like the study mentality I learned from trying to do sciences. And yeah, that's where it come from.
We're going to go through because some of these theories are crazy. But man, Jersey John, thank you. Electronics and entertainment. I don't know if he has a place that.
I know, it reminds me of like, remember that guy Crazy Eddie, Tony? Crazy Eddie.
Jersey John. Listen, go shop at Jersey John's. Electronic entertainment. He's
we'll give you the plug.
From Bayonne, New Jersey.
Jersey Johnny.
Yeah, he said I would be crazy if it would. I think he meant it would be crazy if we found out that Donna is in on it and Randall is her son. And they're setting up him to take him out. Now, we've heard a lot of theories. I've never heard that one before.
Yeah, that's I
heard that one before. Have you heard the theory have you heard the theory that you are Fatima and Ellis's son from the future?
Yeah, I heard that theory. I don't know where that's coming from. I'm dark skinned.
You said that. That was Tony.
I'm dark skinned.
That's exactly what Tony said last week.
I told him. I said, listen,
Tony,
there's no way they can have a baby that's darker than him. He half white.
I know.
He can have a baby that is darker than him, as dark as the grandfather, unless Boy was doing something with Fatima. That's the only way.
That's the only way.
And that's his hair's kinkier than Ellison. You can't have a baby with kinkier hair. It doesn't work.
No.
And then everyone
would be
like,
crazy.
Oh, you don't know about genetics, Tony. I said, I know about my people. I'm black.
I love to see it. I don't know if I was really Ellis and Fatima's, child. I think Ellis needs to go and have a conversation with his father, because like red flags immediately. Like
100.
Red flags immediately.
100. That boy was like, well, he was smoking one day, and
it just happened, Ellis. I'm sorry. And then Mari shows up.
Hey,
you are the father.
That's why the rift between the two of them. That's what it really stems from.
Exactly.
Well, boy, he did say when he looked at it at one time, said, she is something, isn't she?
He said that.
He did, Tony. I think you're on.
She is something, boy. I know about that too.
That's why she's very awkward around. Okay. Anyway, so we go off to Donna taking Jim outside and being like, "What kind of Jim? Can I talk to you for a second?" And Jim's like, "I don't have time." Are you a fucking moron? I love the way she says this to her. She's like, "Are you a fucking moron?" Like I talked to Sarah. You asked if the brother's still alive and voices. And did you tell Randall about the voices on the phone? And Jim totally like, "Oh no, I didn't say anything. I'm Jim. I'm gonna lie. There's nothing bad can happen." And then Jim does the smart thing. Jim might not have street smarts, but he can read the room enough to know when you have to say what someone wants you to say to get out of the situation. He's like, "Yes, I realize what I did was stupid, and I won't do it again." And then he walks away. So as Tony was mentioning, we see Randall several times in this episode peeking out and watching from his spy nest or his spy bush, like Tony Vaco's on Survivor, like watching people to see what they're gonna vote for. So we go off to Victor with another flashback. He's in the basement. I'm gonna yada yada some of this until we get to the meat of Victor. He gets a little bit more of it, and he's remembering stuff as he hears a knock on the door. Tabitha's there. She thanks him for the coat, and she takes a much better tact with him, a more motherly, as Tony said in his video. He looks to her like a mother, and he says something interesting as well. People should not go looking for answers because they don't come back. And it's from his perspective, it's true. I mean, if we see what happened later in the episode, his family left and they never came back, and then he was all alone in that town with that shady boy in white that we have to see sometime in the next 2 episodes, because we know he's in the season and we haven't seen him yet. So there's that. And so it's a fun scene with the two of them. They work really well. He talks about his mom saying bad things, and she just presses him to remember. And then we go back off to Boyd, showing Kenny, talking about, asking him about the cut and the burn. We kind of already talked about this. And Boyd quickly kind of thinks that it might be connected to what happened with Elgin, because Kenny's like, oh, I got burned in the dream. And he gets this look on his face. This is where Harold's an awesome actor.
Amazing. Yeah.
One little look in his eye, you can tell that he thought, should I say something about the Elgin situation? No, it's nothing. And he just he just goes in and it's just such a subtle little thing that's just.
How is it to work with someone like Harold, who's been, in so many films, been in the game for a long time, as a young black man looking at it? How is it to work with someone like that?
At first, honestly, like intimidating, because you watch him grow when you're growing up, right? Very intimidating and stuff, but like also you feel comfortable. He makes you feel comfortable, like working with him. Even the very first day I work with him, nervous as hell, but like he really makes you feel comfortable. Like he has a certain stability and foundation that he has enough for you to also stand on, which I find is very very interesting and fun to work with, and something I aspire maybe I'll get to do to some other young black actor that I get to work with in the future. Yeah.
No doubt. Jersey John's Electronic Entertainment, located in Bayonne, New Jersey, wants to know.
Go to jerseyjohns.com right now for.
How could nobody ask what Victor was doing in the tunnels?
That's
for all
good
the
question.
monsters?
That's a good question.
Yeah. Great question. And there's so many little questions like that we want to know. This is a weird question from area code, my neck of the woods, area code 781.
Hey, this John. I was just wondering, do you find out this season if Donna is a witch, or do you find out next season? And any idea on how to kill it? Okay.
So are we gonna find out that Donna's witch? I don't think there's any witchcraft or any situation like that.
Why you want to kill it?
They want to kill it, and they want to kill it. Kill it. They want to kill it. All right, that might have been a troll call, but it's too funny not to play.
Let's take this right. People are bloodthirsty here. Catherine Irvin says, "Hey boys, how can I send you guys some shirts with my own fan art on them? Nathan, love your work. P.S. Looking sexy as always, Tony.
Damn,
you all are." And with the heart face and everything else. I would say this. You can hit me on Teflon TV on Facebook, and we work around everything else.
And Tony can send it to me, and
I'll get it out to everybody. I'll put that out there.
Here, just so we can get through a couple more voicemails here before we get to the recap. This is area code 310. Because we don't want to keep Nathan here 5 hours.
I'm vibing, man. I'm vibing.
Okay. We'll check in on you every hour. Make sure. Okay, area code 310.
Hi, Phil, the Issues guy. This is Katie. Hi. I'm calling from California. I got a question for Nathan D. Simmons.
That's my name.
My question is, how did you know about that lake at Colony House? That's all I want to know, because I feel like he been there before. He wind up getting away, and then he wind up coming back, and he's slowly remembering stuff. That's all I want to know. Thank you.
All right, so I don't know if you can answer everything in there, but You're having a hard time remembering things? Your character did say that, right? Is it that have you had a hard time remembering things, or are you having a hard time deciphering what's reality and what was just a dream?
I feel it's a little bit of like having a hard time remembering things. I don't know if any of y'all ever had like a premonition or like a dream that became reality sometime in the future, but that's kind of the sensation that I believe Elgin's having. Like he's coming to places or certain circumstances that he's showing up to. Is like, shit, this is in my dream, but then he has to unravel like, what was it? Like, what was that part of the dream? Like, what's the whole thing? And it's blurry, and he doesn't know if he's making it up or if it's actually something that, you know, is true that's going to happen or something like that. Yeah.
Very similar to what's going on with Victor with some of the visions and with what he's drawing, and yeah, there's a sense of clairvoyance that you have where you remember something from a dream and you're like, is it real? And I think what you're saying is Elgin's is just super enhanced right now when he's there. It's more pronounced, and you can kind of feel it because I get the feeling as well that Elgin, the character of Elgin, is empathetic. Like he's somebody that can also feel other people's emotions. You see that with him and Sarah and Julie to a certain extent too, of him reflecting what they need in those moments emotionally as well. So
Absolutely.
I'm sure this place is intense for him in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
You know what I see with the character Elgin? I'm gonna tell you this. What I see.
Crocheting
is water. Everything around you is dealing with water. Every time you come around, you know, you went to the Brundles, you looked in the water. You stayed with Julie and by the pool, all of a sudden the pool got water. It had no water in it the whole time, all of a sudden got water. You drowning in the water. You spitting up water. Water is around you. Something's gonna happen with you in water. That's what I think, because water's all around you all the time. You know,
hopefully only good things.
Hopefully a hot tub.
Hopefully a hot tub. That's it.
Hot tub with Sarah in the future. Hopefully that's in your future here.
D. Haven Graham says Randall's my new favorite character after kidnapping.
Yeah, everyone is like the Donna stuff in the chat that we're missing right now is everyone says that every time Donna shows up, she's in her pocket, and as Tony says, she's clicking on the beeper to her, you know, she's the mole. She's got her little ticker that's talking to people. This is from Nadia in Michigan.
This is Nadia, and I am calling from Michigan, and this is my first time calling, and I just became a boss member. Here's my question. Do you think Fatima's baby will be human? Thank you.
There we go, Tony. You said you thought the pregnancy might be maybe quickened. Do you think she gives birth to? Is this a Daenerys Targaryen dragon baby that she's giving birth to, or is this?
I mean, listen. I think if we look at the title of the episode, it was called "Belly of the Beast." You know, it could if Fatima is there. You know, it could be if you want to look at her as the beast, like something's wrong with her. It could be the beast in her belly. Right, it could be a situation like that. You know what I mean? So we could definitely see something going on like that with her. You know what I mean?
So someone just said, Elgin, since you played football, you can star in a remake of The Waterboy. You know, Elgin, the original Waterboy. Someone said,
I'm not familiar with that movie, but
it's an Adam Sandler football movie where he plays the water boy of a football team. Becomes
yes, I love to do that. Oh, I do know that movie. Oh yeah. I love doing that.
We need a remake, is what somebody said. So yeah, this is area code 773.
All right, Ethan. I'm gonna call you Ethan because you know too much. So I'm just saying this. What is there anything important about Sarah being from Pennsylvania? Because I have a theory about that with the Pennsylvania and the war of, what is it, 1812 or something like that? And with the American colonies and all that. I want to know if you know anything about that and if that's anything that's going on with this script. Let me know if I'm wrong. Thank you.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
I have no idea. I'm not truly familiar about the War of 1812. Is that the war? Is that the what war is that?
I think it was a secondary war after the Revolutionary War with the British, I believe. But
Okay,
I
yeah,
could,
okay,
but I could be
got you.
wrong. History
Yeah.
isn't my strong point, but I think the War of 1812 was sort of like the Revolutionary War 2 Electric Boogaloo. Like it was like years later. They had,
Okay.
but I could be wrong. People in the live chat, someone's gonna tell me I'm completely wrong. So
Okay, cool.
I'm 60% sure.
Yeah, I would say, I'm not sure. I should know because I watch all nothing but history documentaries all the time, so I should know it. I'm just gonna say, listen, when I know everyone wants to ask him a question. Obviously, you do. I'm glad you do, but try to make it. He's not gonna try to make it something he can answer. You know what I mean? He don't try to get my man fired off.
You're asking. We're testing him in history class about the War of 1812.
Yeah, man. You know what I mean? Let's try to keep it there and everything else. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if they teach that in Canadian schools, like the American War of 1812. I don't know if that's high.
Angel Perez says, I would love to see Nathan in a romantic comedy or series or movie. He has an awesome personality.
Oh man, thank you, Angel Perez. I also feel you have an awesome personality as well. Yeah.
Oh, look at you charming the chatter right there.
Super chat again from Sloth. Thank you. He says, tie Victor and Donna up and see who makes it through the night. Donna ignored Fatima when she said she physically can't get prego. Let Randall watch out. So let's go through that. She did. She yada over that fact. You know what I mean? She goes, I'm not supposed to be able to get pregnant. And she's like, oh, well, okay, but you are.
But that fact too, like Fatima can't get pregnant though, against what you say, Tony, against, genetically and stuff. That also brings the theory back, like if Elgin is Fatima and Elsa's son, if he was almost bestowed inside. Not me speaking on my ass, but like that is interesting because Fatima can't get pregnant, but then she, get pregnant. Donna's like, yeah, but that's whatever. The weirder things have happened, like. That is interesting.
I think they're really doing a good job to make you think Donna is the mold, which is making me think she's not. They're making her show up and everything. Johnny on the spot here, Johnny. And I think it's purposely done to put in your head that she is the mold and she's not going to be anything.
To give you that little ounce of doubt that Randall might be right, but I think it's a red herring, so to speak.
Yeah, it's just too much. They're doing it too much. You know what I mean? I'm more concerned about her surviving than her actually being the mold. Again, she might admit to being the mold just to get out of the situation she's in. Yeah. Because you know what I mean? They're putting it in your face too much. Diamond is showing up here, showing up there. It's just too much. The mole is Kenny's mother. I'm telling y'all. I told y'all that from the jump. It's that mushroom ass tea that she's giving people.
That's wild.
She came on this show. I told her. She came on
that is wild. No, this boy. What?
You the mole. I know you the mole. She just laughed about it.
She's like, maybe the tea has mushroom.
Maybe she's like, I'd be giving them that mushroom tea. I said, I know you do. I know you do. I know you do. I know what's going on with the damn mushroom.
So to get back to the recap here, we get Kenny they tell him about Elgin's silver bullet plan. And Kenny agrees, and Kenny, like in Jaws, we're gonna need a bigger boat. We're gonna need more bile. So off to Chrissy's house, who's helping Mary Ellen through the rough of it. And Boyd and Kenny show up. Hey, how's it going? Seems a little rough in here. And something's going on in the boiler room. Again, I know Smiley was in the boiler room, but just for you Freddy freaks, that's Freddy's home base is the boiler room. Another little subtle Nightmare on Elm Street reference. I don't know if it was intentional, but some bad stuff's going on in the boiler room. And this was definitely a Freddy thing with the body and the bugs, because I'm not pronouncing that word. I'm not as brave as Tony. I'm not trying to pronounce that word. So Kenny asks what they were doing in the boiler room. And this was my favorite line read by the actress that plays Mari all season. She's just like, what's that matter, Kenny? She just turns to what's it matter while I was in the boiler room, Kenny? Come on. She reminded me of you saying Kenny's name, Tony. Like, come on, Kenny. What's
that matter? Like Kenny, what were they doing there? Kenny, because Kenny thinking they doing the do down there.
Yeah, he's like, what are you doing in the boiler room?
Kenny's smart. Kelly's just mad. He's like, what are y'all doing down there, boy? He just hating, man. He just hating like, what y'all doing in the boiler room, huh?
Someone said it was actually someone said it was the dumbest line. I don't know. I laughed at it. I thought it was a funny line. Someone in the chat said dumb line. But I
I'll
laughed
say
at
that.
it.
Oh, I love that line too.
Yeah, me too. It was my favorite line read by her also. It was just very There's a couple of very funny comic moments in this episode, and the timing was really perfect. So it's a tense scene. They open the door and something's moving under the blanket, and for a second you think Smiley might be back, and they both quick draw out, especially Kenny. He's quick on that gun, and it's a bunch of bugs, and it's gross, and they're climbing about. And Kenny's like, "These are the ones I saw in my dreams." He says, "This is what I was talking about. We brought evil in here." He talks about the dream he had with the cicadas, and they put it all together. Chrissy's like, Elgin brought in all this water and you got the bugs. This is like some Freddy Krueger stuff. And Boyd does his usual, when people are starting to put things together, he's trying to change the subject. I'm like, don't do this, Boyd. He's like, everyone calm down. Let's not talk about this right now. No, Boyd, shut up. Let it happen.
And it's still the only people who have seen the music box have seen these damn bugs.
Tony, the one thing that I want, and this is a question I wanted to ask you later, but I'll bring it up now. Except we had that thing at the end where the random dude at Sarah's old house runs out of his house, and he's been attacked by the bugs when everyone in town.
I don't think we know that he was attacked by the bugs.
We don't. I guess I assumed
I think we see him with blood running out, and he says somebody. I think what happened, I'm going to go into it real. I think he killed his chick. Like in his dream, like some type of dream type situation where he murdered her, and that's her blood on him, and that's why he's running out there like that. Somebody help me, like a Hercules labor situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they made him think it was someone else, and he actually beat his family to death. Something happened in there where I think he killed her. I don't think that we have any proof that there. Kenny says, "Can you hear that?" But no one else hears it from the way I took it. He goes, "Can you hear that?" And that's the cicadas and everything else. But I don't see everyone else listening, because they look around and like, what you mean? Can you hear what? You know what I mean? And that was it. You know what I mean? I don't think Julie heard it. I don't think none of them heard it. I think it was all in Kenny's head. And then that's what I think what it is. You know what I mean? Again, anyone who's seen those bugs all seen that damn music box. Who haven't seen that music box, you ain't seen shit.
Yeah. And Mari blurts out the obvious. You mean our fucking dreams can kill us now too? And again, Donna shows up with her hands in the pockets right at the right time to borrow some aspirin. She's like, "Hey, beep beep beep. What's going on? What's going on in here?
You might as well just ask for a goddamn cup of sugar, right? Yeah, aspirin. And you got sugar.
Aspirin.
You got some milk I can borrow.
What's going on in here, guys?" She's like Snoop Dogg and Half Baked. What's over here, guys? she's hunting it down. And
they like that blunt.
And they do an interesting cut, and they go off to the car graveyard with Victor and Tabitha. He says, "You're a nice lady," and Ethan's my friend. I love Victor. He's so great. Okay, so we go back to Donna, and she's like, "What the fuck, Boyd? You didn't tell me. You got caught. The age-old cheating thing. You didn't tell me. You just got caught. And I saw you 2 hours ago. He said I needed time. You didn't tell me whatever, yada yada." And she wants to see it. And she says in a weird way, "Let's look at this thing now." She sees it and she says, "Motherfucker." Now, those people that think that Donna might be a mole, you could read the way she says motherfucker, meaning that, oh my God, this thing I care about is dead. I mean, so like they read it to your point, Tony, what you were saying, they set up, especially in this episode, a lot of situations where you could look at Donna in a lot of different ways. And in that moment, when she looks in that scene, when she comes in, she has to see it. She sees it. She's just staring at that thing. And when Boyd's freaking out about the bugs, she's just like, "Yeah, don't worry about that. They got out, whatever." And she's just like, "Motherfucker." Like when she's looking at the body, it was just kind of weird. They shot it weird to make it seem like Donna might be shady. And at least that's how I took it.
It's too heavy-handed, though. Like
I agree.
It's too much in your face. They're not being subtle about it.
No,
and
they're being obvious.
They're not, makes me think that they're just leading you in the wrong direction down the hill. That she's not. And she was just like, "Yo, burn this bitch."
Yeah, you have to burn this
outside and burn this motherfucker. You know what I mean? Let's stop playing. Because he's like, "Well, there was bugs here. Fuck the bugs, boy. There's a body here. Burn this motherfucker. I don't give a fuck about the bugs.
Yeah.
I don't care about that." Again, Donna didn't see no bugs. There was nothing in there. And as Boyd said, there were hundreds of those bugs. And all of a sudden they're gone.
They're gone.
You know, yeah. Only the people who have the music box, have seen the music box, can see these bugs. And I think the music box people may be the people who they can affect their dreams. And other people, I don't know if they could do that too and everything else. But something else has got something to do with Boyd this damn. It's Boyd's fault. He's the reason. He set that day. He should have let Martin live and they'd still be good using him. Now they got to find 3 new people. And unfortunately, Elgin,
I'm proud of it.
Unfortunately,
You're gonna be hanging up on that pretty soon.
You might be hanging up there. You on the block, baby. You on the block.
Oh,
Don't I know? Don't I know it? Oh my gosh.
Let's take a couple more voicemails for area code 252.
Okay, so I was wondering, do you think Boyd? I was wondering if you think Boyd would use the silver bullets or just experiment the yellow stuff that he had in the bottle.
No, great call. So it's and I think there's no way if you came up with if Elgin came up with this interesting plan, they're not going to mention it that many times. They didn't over mention it because I agree with what you're saying, Tony. This show, and sometimes it walks that fine line. If you mention something too much, it's probably not the case. But if you do it a couple times, we're going to see the silver bullet. They're going to definitely try that. I think that's 100%.
Yeah, you're not going to bring up the bullet, the bio bullet, and not shoot it. Whether it works or not is a different situation. But they're gonna light something up with it, especially Kenny, because you know Kenny's trigger happy. He's trigger happy, right?
He is. He's supposed to pull. He's supposed to shoot something, man. Jeez.
He's dying to do something.
Speaking of,
this is what happens when you take the boy out of the high waters, but you can't take the high waters out of the boy.
No.
Tony.
This is what happens.
Yo, talk about my boy's pants, man.
I'm just saying though. I'm saying ever since he got some pants that fit his ass, all of a sudden he got pants that fit. He's like, yo, my pants fit. Don't be looking at me like that. I see that my ankle. You lost.
Oh, dude, you're cracking me up tonight.
Christ!
This is area code 919. This is putting you on the spot. Don't feel like you have to do this, buddy. But I'll play the message.
All right, do it.
Oh, hey guys, it's Tony and Phil and Nathan. Hey, it's Nikita from 919. I heard word on the street. And you're a cutie, by the way. I have to say that. Word on the street is that you can sing.
Oh, Lord.
Not sing, but you can sing.
You be saying
So
all
I'd
that
like
stuff.
to hear a little bit. I started to put something on here, sing with you, but so you could harmonize to it, but I want to hear you. You got the floor. So I'm going to sit back and see if you do that. Thank you so much.
Sorry to put you on the spot there.
Oh, man.
Color wants some melody. I don't know.
Jeez. Should I do? Not yet. Next time.
We'll prepare something. You know. We'll prepare something.
Oh my God!
Yeah. How about this? How about we run this now? We've talked behind the scenes. He brought it up a little bit here. Nathan has agreed to come to the con next year in Nashville.
Yeah, right. we'll be jamming. We'll get him on the mic.
And we come down there. We'll do something down there.
Listen, and if anyone's around me, you know I sing. So I sing like 24/7, even when it don't even sound good. I still keep singing. So, yeah.
Scott told me. Scott told me personally. He's like, yeah, he's got some pipes.
That personally. Oh,
yeah.
He was talking about it on our show. Like
he said, he's got some pipes. You know what I mean? Luna, thank you for super says Donna's not a mole. Donna is just Donna. I'm with you on that one. I don't believe that.
I don't think so either. So Kenny and Boyd load up and with the body, and they're gonna burn him. And Boyd's like, yeah, if we burn him, this Freddy stuff should stop, right? Yeah, sure, whatever. But maybe we should still sleep in shifts. And Donna asks about Sarah, and they're gonna send her to the sheriff's station. And Christy is like, I'm not sleeping in the same place. She's going to go to Colony House, which is going to set up our final little stretch of these last 2 episodes where something crazy is about to happen. Boyd says to, I always project this stuff when actors are in other shows. Boyd's like, I know withdrawals can get much worse because he was in Oz when Adebisi went through withdrawals during the riot. And he knows full hand what can happen when someone goes into withdrawals, like when Adebisi and Wangler went into withdrawals during the riot in Oz. So I project that onto Harold's character, that he's saying, I saw stuff in Oz. You won't believe. This is gonna get bad. But anyway, so Donna wants some aspirin. There's no aspirin, but there's monster bile. And Boyd says cold compress, and she tells him to fuck right off. And they just have a great dynamic. So off to burn a body, and who's hiding in the spy bushes in the side, like a Survivor character listening to see who has the immunity idol. It is Randall. Just
my boy.
That breakdancing bastard.
He's dancing on his back.
He's been there like
breakdancing, one-handed stance.
He can run the corner, back spinning, coming up in I see you.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Someone in the chat says, old Dennis the Menace looking Randall. Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God.
Sitting there, Mr. Wilson. Sitting there. Is that Donna's last name, Wilson? So Victor does find the pictures in the trunk. I'm sure we're going to break apart this. Someone sent an email, Yvette, to us. I'll make sure I send this email to Tony. I'm not sure if I'm going to be on Wednesday with him in LMR, but it's more of a Wednesday topic thing to break into these new pictures. But he gets another flash of his past. And this is where we see that he had a sister, Eloise. You need to protect your sister. And Victor says the magic marker thing wasn't mine. And Eloise ran after the mother, and Victor blocked that he blamed himself for this. And he comes out, and Tabitha is like, yeah, you shouldn't worry. You were a kid, but we flash back to that he had a sister and he's crying in real time. It's a huge emotional scene. This is probably the saddest I've been watching the show. And you were talking about it earlier, Nathan. Scott really is so committed to this character that within his voice is like even his little whimpers and stuff, they're just so genuine. And he plays this character so well. He was just great in this episode. This was Scott's episode in a lot of ways.
Oh my gosh, man. He's been on fire the whole season. Like from acting, I've been shook. Like even when you're around him, he has this aura, and even like the difference between like him and Victor is so palpable. And like,
I was gonna say the same thing about you though as well, like hanging out with you tonight and to talk to you and stuff. And Tony mentioned this a little bit earlier. You're so not Elgin, and I think you mentioned Scott and taking that a little bit from him of being able to like be that character and then just let go. Like Scott's a cool chill cat and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, he's great about that. I don't want to shove sunshine up your ass, but you're also very, very good at that. I mean, you're nothing like the character of Elgin as well. But
oh, jeez, thank you. Yeah. No, I try to keep it a bit separate, because sometimes with Elgin, the places that a lot of time, but a lot of things Elgin's thinking he doesn't say, and a lot of the time it's a lot of weight I'm putting on in order to convey what I'm trying to convey. And so it's good to separate. And if I don't, what I ran into, it does, makes me feel different when I go home.
That must be fun as an actor, because of all the theater that you have done. And we joked about it earlier, played to the back of the crowd.
Yeah.
And big. But Elgin is so I'm not small, but it's more subtle. And like you said, you're playing a lot of nonverbal communication and stuff like that. So it must be just fun as an actor.
Oh, it's so fun.
Those different muscles to go back and forth like that.
Yeah, it is fun. It is fun. And it's work. Like I said, I learned a lot from Scott, as Harold, also Liz too. Like I learned a lot from for these people, and
they're professional, professionals.
Height.
And Liz is the acting coach too, right? So
yeah.
She knows how to teach people that.
She's like, especially in Canada, she's royalty.
People
Right,
in the
so-
people in the live chat. What if Elgin is the mole? Elgin is shady as fuck. Hey,
Yo,
leave
Hey, don't put that out there.
Leave our buddy Nathan alone. Okay,
Yeah,
so
I'll put you in the box.
yeah, don't put Tony will put you right in the box right now. So yeah, this is just a really sad emotional scene. So we go off, and this is the end of our basically getting towards the end of our episode here. So we go off to Donna being approached by Randall, who says, "I come in peace, so sincerely, no trouble." And the look at Donna's face, she knew she should have grabbed her weapon right there and attacked him. He gets, and honestly, guys, this is the most. There's a lot of fear on this show, and Tony talked about this a lot at the beginning of the season, that we've got these monsters, we've got these things, but some of the things that can be the most scary in shows like this are humans that are often unhinged. And Randall in this moment was scarier than Smiley for me. The way he's like slowly approaching her and getting closer and closer every moment. I've been in physical altercations, been raw attack, like when someone's just inches closer and inches closer to you, you're like, oh, this is happening now. Like, and I'm surprised Donna didn't spider sense more. And that's why I don't know if she is where she wants to be. And that's where I'm getting the Ben Linus vibe of like, is she slow playing this a little bit? And she wants to know what Randall know. I don't know. But either way, she kind of plays into what Randall says here. And we cut with her saying, okay, we can talk. Off to Kenny and Boyd burning the body. And Kenny's like, Kenny's basically says, I got used to being scared when there was monsters outside at night, but haunting our dreams, I can't imagine that shit. And again, Boyd can play really intense and get really intense, but I think part of the reason why everyone in town looks to Boyd, and probably look, as you were mentioning this about Harold too, is the calmness. Like Kenny's like, I don't know if I can hit, and Boyd's just like, yep. He's just he doesn't really react to it too much. He's just like, yep, we're gonna see that. That's a problem for tomorrow. and he's just so calm about the whole situation. So we go more to the pictures of Tabitha and Victor is blaming himself, and Tabitha says it's okay. And Tabitha spots something, and Tony Elgin, Tony Nathan, is this the same tower from season 1? Is that Boyd saw? Is it the same thing that the tower, the lighthouse thing?
The lighthouse.
So they see a picture of is it? And Ivan's secondary question that's for you afterwards.
I'll answer you. Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is.
There's no doubt. They have a yellow light going across the top of it. It's definitely a lighthouse, and it was said that his mom went there to save the children.
Save the children, yeah. Save the children.
So they were keeping the children, running experiments in this lighthouse. That's what she was going there to do. Listen, I'm going to do a whole video about all this stuff.
Please do. I'm not watching.
Oh, that's what it is. But we have no proof and no evidence that they're dead. We don't know that Victor's mother's dead. We don't know that Victor's sister's dead. He suspects they're dead. Doesn't mean that that's the case.
Eloise could have been that girl, the wet girl that we saw in the tunnel that was peeking on Tabitha, or one of those kids or something like that.
Those ashy ass kids.
Yeah.
Why don't they got no lotion for these kids' ashy ass skin?
You would think after a while.
Some Albino with some
it's not that expensive,
something. You know what I mean? Hook these children up. They're so damn ashy. There's no need for them to be so ashy.
Tony, the other question I wanted to ask, because I forgot to ask it earlier, was the voice that we heard on the phone during the Kenny call, was that the same voice that was talking to Jim?
No, it was not. Because the voice that's calling Kenny is the same people that are doing the music box, because they're actually trying to help. The one that called Jim is not trying to help. So the helping words they said was, all this stuff is going to happen unless you stop the music from playing, right? So they're trying to actually help. It's like every time you hear the music box, it's always a hint of some type of help. It's those people. You know what I mean? The same people that are talking to Sarah.
And I think those are connected to the kids.
Those are the ones trying to help. And then you have the people above them who are trying to fuck everything up. The people that are actually coming.
Right, the ones that brought down the house, the ones that
brought the house down, that helped, that put everybody prisoner and everything else. All those people and stuff are right there.
And the kids that Victor's mother was going to save could very well be the kids that Tabitha's seeing. And there's probably some synergy and some connective tissues there. And okay, so we go off to Kenny's mom and the Matthews kids.
Learn on me.
They were some hard workers. They can come back and work again. And we bump into Kenny and Boyd on the way back. And Kenny, and this is to Tony's point, I have to rewatch this scene. I'm not sure if anyone else could hear it or only Kenny heard it. Kenny hears something as we hear the sound of the bugs, or everybody does, I'm not sure. And we hear some screaming. Oh my God, someone runs out of his house. Potentially, again, we have to look at it again, either attacked by the bugs or all bloody because he killed his partner, or burned, or something. He comes out all messed up. And our final scene of the episode, and then we'll get to our voicemails before we let Nathan go here. We go off to Jim approaching the van and looking in the back, and there's a puddle of sorts as we see Donna say, Jim, and the look on Donna's face was priceless. Like, you moron. I told you. She's like, look at that, Jim. What's going on here? And Donna's like, you totally told him.
You did this, Jimbo.
Yeah,
you did this, Jimbo. And this is all on you, Jimbo.
You big dummy. You big dummy.
Yeah. It's definitely a Fred Sanford me. You big dummy. You big dummy.
Yes. I like that reference. I like that reference. Fred Sanford and Randy taking any fires.
Yeah, and Dennis the Menace. He's slapping Dennis the Menace. You big dummy. Oh my goodness. And as Tony was mentioning earlier, Randall's got his little Swiss Army knife out. He's got his little scissors and his toothpick. And he's like, oh, I gotta, and he's totally like jokering up in this moment. He's like, I got a new plan. Want to know how I got these scars? And the episode ends, and that is the end of the situation. Sure. And with a crazy look, he says, we have a new plan. And that is the end of our particular episode. And let's get to some of our voicemails.
Well, before we do, as a member of Teflon TV, being a member and being a boss level member, when you are a boss level member on Teflon TV, it gives you the ability to come on stream and ask a question of a guest. And we have a boss level member, only one. We just got one today, and she is here right now. Our girl Mika. She's going to meet you right now. Let's bring Mika on here. She wants to ask you a question. So let's have her ask that question. Mika, how are you?
Hey,
hey guys. How you doing?
Nice to meet you, Nathan.
Nice to meet you too, Mika. Nice to meet you.
Great job, man. I'm a total diehard fan of the show. I wasn't an Elgin fan at first, but I totally grew on me. Like, so I don't know. I'm trying to think of the exact moment where I'm like, I like this guy. I think, you know what? It was when you were by the pool with Julie, and I don't know. I just like that was like, as like a couple episodes before, I was like, I don't know if I like him or not. There's something up with him. But you know you're a good actor if you have people questioning you and you have people believe. You know what I mean? Like that's when you know you're a good actor, right?
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah.
You know who like Elgin too. I hope you do.
What's that?
I hope you continue to like Elgin too.
You know, I'm sure. I seen a lot of people in the chat saying, "Listen, I'm an Elgin fan now." A lot of women saying that smile and that personality. I'm digging Elgin now too. But you won a lot of people over, and I think that we had that issue when Hannah came on. That a lot of people thought that she was Julie. And when they seen her really, and now they're like, oh, we like this. Now we like her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh, not Julie. You know what I mean? I think sometimes people too much they get confused with the character and the actual person that's playing. But I Mika,
okay,
just ask your question. So please, girl, do your thing, beautiful.
Okay. Are you coming? So you're coming to FromCon, Nathan?
Oh yeah, I love to come to FromCon.
Awesome. I can't wait. Awesome. Also, who do you get along with best with on the set?
Oof, that's hard, man. It's crazy. Like, I feel like the cast on From, at least from my perspective, kind of feels like Colony. We're all very like polyamorous, you know. Like I spend a lot of time with everybody. Like I was saying earlier, like Angela, me and Angela talk a lot. me, Pega, and Hannah. That's my crew. Also AJ Cortion, Ricky, my crew, Avery, Chloe, man, love them. It's just like there's so many people that like it really does feel like a family, like a family.
Theater troupe too. It seems like you guys have that kind of
Absolutely.
vibe.
It's like a theater troupe, like I have, you make so much like intimate moments with everybody. You know what
Chloe
I mean?
and Scott worked on a short together.
Yeah,
There's just
something, yeah.
crossover appeal where all you guys are working on different things together and touching base. It's really kind of awesome, especially in this day and age when it's a lot of people maybe coming in doing their work and going out. It seems like you guys, because of what we've heard through the cast, because of a lot of the first season and them being together, like it formed this core group that you that was awesome. That you watched the show and then you got to join up. It's really cool.
True. But I will say, Pega and me, I went through a breakup during the filming of this season, and Pega really did like help keep my spirits high. She's a sweetheart. So
she's like that in and off camera. That's cool.
She really is.
Also, like for like when you guys were staying like on set, I heard that you guys couldn't leave. During those time when you're filming, did you guys have your own rooms, or did you shack up like shared trailers and stuff like that, or how that work?
No, everyone had their own like hotel, their own room, and so we just had to like limit where we went. But the cast and everybody, we still got together, had dinner parties and like the Chloe made a crazy like Thanksgiving dinner and stuff whenever they did.
That's my girl. Oh, I love her.
I did too, yeah.
I didn't see her movie Jackie Boy.
Jackie Boy, I haven't. No, shoot, no,
Watch
I gotta
it.
check that out. Yeah.
Oh my God, she's smoking hot in that film. Yep, watch it.
Always.
Yes.
We were also Jackie Boy. Do you have anything else, Mika? Before we have to let you go, you have one more question for our boy Nathan.
What's your favorite food, Nathan?
My favorite food?
Yeah.
Dang, that's a good question. I love food. I love it. Oysters though. Oysters, like I'll kill somebody for like a real nice oyster. In Scotia, we have some real nice oysters. So yes, I love oysters.
One more question. What is your favorite quality in a friend or a girlfriend or a lover?
I'll say a friend's varies, but girlfriend, lover, quality time, someone who supports me, someone that like I can feel comfortable just sitting down in silence with. Really, someone that like, that really just wants to see me and I can see them. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Mika. Yeah.
Right,
Mika, maybe I'll see you from Con.
So much, Mika. We'll talk to you later and everything.
Okay.
Thank you for rocking with us, girl.
Thanks, Tony. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Mika. Have a good one. So let's get to a couple more voicemails before we call. We'll get through as many as we can in a little bit here. Area code 352. I think this is from Drunk Bishop.
This is Drunk Bishop. I'm saying right now that Randall is the most relatable character in the show for me. Reason being that Randall is coming in hot-headed. He's not satisfied with all the answers that everyone's giving him. I would not be either. I would be extremely skeptical. I'd be saying the same thing to Jim, like, well, did you see anything? I would be the exact same level of aggression in the church with Donna and Sarah, just absolutely fed up. Everybody kind of has a level of complacency that, I like that he's just not cool with. So, but I don't think he's going to end up killing Donna. I think Jim reasons with him and Donna and them spend the night in the RV together. And either it's found out that Donna is the mole, she maybe lets them in on the big secret, and it's some sort of larger than life thing.
I think you read the script, right?
Turns out you can't win against this thing. It's impossible. It's just, some sort of cabin in the woods thing. Like it's just,
All right,
there's some giant god that.
Let's try to keep these messages. We got a bunch a little shorter.
That's crazy.
That's a lot that he said there. Do you think that? Let's go through it. Do you think, you personally, not script, anything you read in, do you think that this dude can be reasoned with Randall from the character itself?
I believe anyone can be reasoned with if it's right. I feel like I got to come to terms with them first, you know. And this is coming from me always. Everything I'm saying is from what Nathan thinks. I've not said anything about that I know of, and anything about Elgin that still may change. But like, yeah, I feel like looking at it, man, like he has questions and he's not gotten any answers, you know. And it's almost like how a lot of people, like my family, feel watching From too. They have so many questions and they're not getting answers, you know. And like, I think he's not going to be satisfied until he actually gets some answers, if that makes sense. That's what Nathan feels.
I agree. I don't think he can be reasoned with. I think that one of these people have to die when it's all said and done. I think that Jim will have to kill Randall when it's all said and done. And you know,
that's the most likely scenario. Obviously, it's more tragic if Jim or Donna die in this situation. But I tend to agree with you, Tony, that the most logical situation is Jim will have to do what he said he wouldn't do, and this place will get the best of him.
Yeah. And listen, it could be a situation where Jim does kill Randall. And then it turns out that Randall was right all along.
Yeah, absolutely. There could be that. I mean, we might not find out until much later that Randall was right in this situation. But here's a question for Nathan.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Peter from North Carolina. Hi, Phil. Hi, Tony. Hi, Nathan. How you guys doing?
Hey.
So my question for Nathan is, how was it filming the scene where the first scene where we actually see you and we see like you throw up in the bus? Like, how was that scene with just everyone being there? And like, was it awkward? Was it the first time doing a stunt like that? If you could just like let us know. Thank you. Really love the show. Keep up the good work.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah, it was that scene. Would have been my second day on set, I believe. Nervous as all. First time meeting Randall, and the bus was hot as shit. Like it was like I think it was. I want to speak in Celsius, so y'all can do the conversions. I think it was something like 34 degrees, and then it was like 40 something with humidity.
80, 90 degrees.
Yeah, something around there. Yeah, but then the bus, it felt like it was like added 10 degrees on top of that, no AC, right? So it was hard. I remember I was like, I had to focus in because I was feeling like so lightheaded, and I was too stubborn to get off the bus and get some water, so I had to suffer through it. But yeah. But after that scene, we did that like everything just sat in perfectly. Yeah.
Nice. Let me take the Cash App people to send them. I want to show them the love for doing this. We got one from Fredericks. He says this is for Teflon and crew. Janelle Holzman said, it's your boy Jay Hall. Just wanted to show you some love. Thank you so much. And Jesse Fernandez sends you one for Mika. It says that loves you, Nathan. Mika loves you, she says. Thank you so much.
Hey, Mika.
And all that good stuff and all everything else. Yeah, that bus had to be hot as a mug up on there, son. You know what I mean? So I feel you on that. I've been on bus rides where the AC broke down, and I know what that feels.
How did you do the puke? Was it like a pack you had and you spit out or something?
No, it was like pea soup. They made like some pea soup and they put it in my mouth, right? So we had to do that thing. That shot a few times. I'm not a fan of
spit on this dude.
I really did. Hey, AJ is a trooper because I just kept spitting.
Yeah, 4 or 5 times. Yeah, many takes.
Didn't get the angle right. Do it again. He just kept taking it. So.
He's break dancing over there.
It was, and I think that was the issue. He kept break dancing. I kept missing him. Right. So I just put it on his head.
Pause. No pause. No pause. So this is a question from Doug.
Yeah, this is Doug from the Appalachian Mountains of Virginia. I was just calling to say, why don't they just go to the tree, some of them in a vehicle, and remove the tree and follow that road on down the road, see where it ends up at. Just remove the tree. Appreciate it. Thank you.
I don't know if people realize how heavy trees are. You know, you just can't remove a tree.
Not everyone's Paul Bunyan.
You know, you can't just remove a tree. It's a tree, goddammit. You know what I mean? That's hard. You just can't remove it. And I think that's why they put it there, because it's a goddamn tree. You know, it takes, if someone, you have to hire a company to remove a stump, just a stump from your house, right? And it takes them hours to do that. So what do you think they're gonna do with a whole ass tree? You know what I mean? It's gonna take a little bit of time to get that tree up out of there and everything else. So
they don't have the equipment to do that. They don't have one of those big trucks or something like that.
LMC says you can burn it. You can't just burn a tree, dude. You can't burn a tree. It don't work like that. It just don't work. You can't. It's hard to burn a piece of wood, especially if it's wet wood.
Not to mention, we don't know if they can find their way back to the tree. We don't know if once they see the tree, they can't actually find their way back. Like that's the warp zone, so to speak, that they can't actually, they just loop. If they try to get back to that same location, it just loops.
That is true. That is true.
This is area code 678.
What's going on, fellas? This is Thad calling from Atlanta. Just wondering if everybody's in the town is dead, and the reason they having these what I call it dreams is because they're remembering their past life, and some of them are like some of them are remembering the way how they died, like oh boy drowned. You know, it's just a thought. Tell me what you think.
All right, Nathan.
I had no idea, but like
no idea about the death.
Theory.
I will say that they're not dead. They addressed this in season 1 with Father Khatri. They had Tabitha go there and ask him straight up, did we survive the crash? And Father Khatri said, you know, I've had many people have asked me this. He said exact words were like, I've had time to work on this answer, meaning that many people have had that. So the fact that they did do that makes me think that they're not in purgatory. They're not dead. They're alive. And that's just what it is. So I would say no, me personally. Phil, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't think it's that they're dead. I think if anything, it's more something like what Tony has said about a loop. And if Nathan, you know, like Tony tends to think that they've been through this several times, that they're going through some sort of like, I might be quoting you incorrectly, Tony, but like in the way the Matrix, they're like, you're the 5th Neo. You just keep going on this cycle, and when things get too crazy, you reset. So you're maybe having flashes because you're remembering things that you've seen or done before. Tony, obviously, you have the theory way more fleshed out. I'm sort of giving it Tony's theories for idiot. You know, like both the Spark Notes version of it. But
you did a great job at it.
That was not bad. It was close, right?
Really good job. It was really good. Yeah, but I think that they've been there. It's alternate universes. I think that that they keep bringing the same people in, running the same experiments. Again, they could be using these parasites that I believe are alien to cure things. Like we have Pega here. And now all of a sudden, this Pega that's been healed, they've been finally able to get her pregnant. Like they've been trying to do it, it hasn't worked, and now it's finally worked. So whatever experiments they're running on, they're trying to get in that they could say, hey, we're using this to try to help women who cannot have babies, and that's why they're experimenting on them. Well, and then everything else, and everybody else is in them, so some type of experiment. And I believe that Tabitha, when she was inside the cave with Victor, she specifically looks down at her feet and she sees a puddle of water. And she uses that puddle of water, to escape, like say, follow the water out. But that's not what she says. Her word that she says is, where is this water coming from? Is what she says specifically. Underneath the feet, like it's being pumped somewhere. So I think that when you look at those little ashy ass kids, especially the one that was in the cage, you know what I mean? I think they flood that whole place out. Once it gets too bad, they do a flood. So we're going to wash away everyone, make it look natural, just like when they bring in the weather to make it look natural. We'll flood everybody, we'll kill everybody out here, and then we'll bring in the alternate version and we'll start all over again and do the experiment again. And I think that's what's going to happen and everything. That's why, because that little chick with the broken nose, her hair was wet. Like you could see her hair is slicked back.
That's true.
Unless she's got the same mousse that Jim is using, because I don't know what's in Jim's hair, keeping his hair so goddamn wet.
Jim's like Clooney and Oh Brother Where Art Thou. He's got
His hair is slicked
my
back.
hair product.
He's got some hair product. I don't know how. No one else got a hair product but Jim.
No, he's got
Jim
plenty
thought
of
that shit.
Tony. He's got plenty in the RV.
But Jim's hair is wet like a motherfucker. He's got Jerry curls like Michael Jackson back in the day, Jim.
Most of his suitcase is filled with hair product. I'm going to zip through as many calls as we can get because Nathan's been a trooper. We've had him here over 2 hours. If we don't get to your call, we're sorry, but we'll flip through as many calls. I might cut off some of these calls early just because I'd rather play your voice than not. But we've had Nathan on almost 2.5 hours here. We gotta let him go. Area code 310.
Hey, this is Ralph B calling back. I have a question. As the show ended, and the guy ran out the house screaming, "Help me, help me." Now, if something happened to his wife, and he didn't know, first person they're going to blame, since it was Sarah's old house, got to be Sarah. So could that be something that's going to happen in the next 2 episodes? Or, I mean, what do you guys think? Thank you.
I say no. I don't think it's going to be blamed with anything with Sarah. Sarah's got her own journey to play. I think it's him. He was in the house with her. He comes out bloody. It's going to be blamed on him, if anything. I think they're going to go inside the house and she's going to be dead. And maybe he says a voice tried to kill him, or maybe he thought it was a dream or something happened. But I do believe it'll be something like that. I don't think they'll blame Sarah for this one. They blame Sarah for a lot of things, but I can't see them blaming her for this one.
I agree. I don't think necessarily, but it did make me question how far is Elgin's loyalty to Sarah, and how far will you defend her? I mean, you're stealing giving her some of your food, whatever was said earlier. So I just wonder if people do keep messing with her, how that's going to do that. Phil hates Jim. I don't hate Jim. I just think Jim is a moron. No, I just think Jim's acting like a moron, and the title of this episode was what? The forest within the trees or something. Like, I think that's just a perfect definition of Jim. Just he's unaware, and Tony said no street smarts, and he's just not thinking logically. But maybe it's this place is making him not think quite as much. But anyways, area code 914.
Hello, my name is Lady K from Westchester, and I am currently watching you guys. This is my first time calling in. My question is, do you think that any of the characters will come back into the show if the theory of them being going over and over again, them doing it over and over again? So the people who are considered dead, like Sarah's brother, and if Donna does go in the next episode, do you think it's possible that everybody can come back in the 3rd or 4th season? And you guys look great.
Thank you so much. I will say that come back on Wednesday.
That's a Wednesday. I was gonna say that's a Wednesday.
I have the answer to that question, but I cannot.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
Oh shit! Okay.
I got the answer to that. Just come back Wednesday on the Theory stream for the next episode, and we'll talk about all that stuff.
This is an interesting question. I don't know if Nathan can answer this one, but we'll see. Area code 318.
Hey, it's 318. Good evening, Tony, Phil, and Nathan.
What's up?
My question, well, first of all, Nathan, you are doing a fabulous job. But my question is, do we know anything about season 3? Thanks. Bye.
I guess people are wondering if season 3 has been confirmed. We've heard. I don't think it has been.
Yeah, I haven't heard it's been confirmed yet. I think it depends on ratings still, on writer's strike. And if it is, man, I hope that, hope I'm brought back too. So yeah. But I don't think it hasn't been confirmed yet.
We shall see. It has not been. Let's take one more, Phil, then we'll go.
Okay, one more. This is from 868 who called earlier, so I don't know if this is this is their most recent one, but let's see.
Yo, Tony, listen. I wonder if you guys didn't can't remember this from before, but whatever. Nathan will win on.
Oh, it's KP.
Phil,
Yeah.
listen to questions. One, Nathan, how you like change since being on from one of the top 10 shows on TV? That was pretty fucking cool. Number two, what do you think the purpose of this place is? Do you think this is an alien experiment by the government, or some sort of pocket dimension where these people can just randomly get there and it's just a thing that happens? But what do you think the purpose of it is, and what do you think will be the outcome of this? Do you think these people were chosen, or do you think these people here by random, or do you think these people actively chose to come here?
Giving them a lot,
Their
KP.
minds have been wiped, so they.
So yeah, a lot of questions, KP.
Come on,
But
KP is going crazy here.
I feel like we have to end on a simpler question, but basically basically.
You can't answer that.
I love being on From. That's the first one. I love being on From. It's a beautiful. You know
Has
what
anyone
I mean?
recognized you from it yet? That when you're on the balcony, like,
when I was hanging out with Cortion and Chloe one day, someone recognized me, but usually I got a whole beard going on.
Yeah, I was
so
gonna say I saw you in another interview and you had a beard and you look nothing like
completely different. Yeah, I took this off at a couple editions.
Did they tell you to do that, to take the beard off?
No, I had a couple editions. So this past week, so I just shaved it
But
down.
dude, you look like 10 years.
Did they tell you, hey, we want you clean shaven, or could you have run in there with bearded up?
For my edition or for From?
No, for From, like.
They say shave it all down.
Tony, I don't know if you've seen him with his beard, but you look 10 years older with your beard.
Oh, I know.
You look so much.
You know,
you look like so much older with your beard. Like,
I
That's
tried.
what they were going for. Maybe they wanted you to look young, so
Yeah,
they could,
younger,
take
yeah.
the beard off and everything.
Yeah.
Maybe that was what it is.
It
But-
was, yeah.
but
I sent my
mostly
edition
you
tape
rock
in with the
both.
beard on too, but yeah.
So on your regular life, you rock the beard, or that's your look.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to I can grow I grow this stuff. It's still growing in and stuff but I pick it out nicely. So I got my pick and stuff. I haven't used it yet today, as you can tell. But I pick it out nicely to make it look fuller, because I'm trying to get something like you cat,
There you go.
full.
You could do the Weebay wire technique.
oh yeah, that'd be perfect.
What's that?
You ever see the show The Wire?
Oh, I have, yeah.
Yeah, Weebay. He goes, we know, talking to his son. He said, when the OGs told me, you gotta piss on your finger and rub it on your face.
Yeah, I heard what he said. I can't do what's coming. No, I'm not doing that. No, not intentionally. Not intentionally.
Anybody, if we didn't get to your voicemail or your text, we're sorry. A couple quick texts. It's great to see you, Nathan. People should be shazamming this music puck sound. Yes, it's a good point. Maybe humans are trying to keep the monsters trapped from Fromville. They need people in this town. It's like some sort of sacrifice. Lou here. What would Nathan, if you ended up in Fromville, would you react more like Nathan, like Randall, all aggressive, Jade aggressive, or somewhere else? Like you, Nathan. I guess this is a good last question from 812. You, Nathan, how would you react in Fromville?
I act like that's a good question. I probably, honestly, and being honest, at the beginning of the season, there was a couple that were just outside hiding behind a car. That would be me. Listen, I'm not going inside with no one that got me a gun, and yeah, I'll leave my life is up, in God's hands. That's it. Yeah.
I'd like to think I was a hero, but I'd be one of those stoners in Colony House that's hiding in there, smoking every day. Like,
yes.
I just waiting for this. I'd want to be Jade or something and try to make stuff happen. But realistically, I'm playing my bongos in a corner at Colony House.
If I was in there, I'm gonna tell you straight up. If I was in there and I was in that situation, it'd be more than Peggy that was pregnant. I tell you that right now. Because everybody knows the Don's technique. My couch goes out, but the Don does not. And on that note,
everyone, we're sorry for the voicemails, but Nathan, appreciate it. We appreciate it.
Listen, Nathan,
Thank you
so much for rocking with us and
kept it here 2.5 hours.
hanging with us. You know what I mean? I thank you for everyone in the chat for joining us. Again, we'll be back here next week. Hopefully, we'll have another guest rocking with us and everything else. And
if not, we'll bring it down and recap the episode 9. Is there anything hint or preview without spoilers you can give us for episode 9? Is for something to come? If not, you can tell me to F off. You know,
No. I'll tell you that. What can I say? I say that I hope. What can I say? Hold on. Give me 5 seconds. Give me 5 seconds.
No, take your time.
Something sweet. I think y'all are gonna enjoy the rest of the season. That's what I say. I feel like y'all. I want to know what your theories. Like I think you're all gonna have a lot of theories.
No doubt. Definitely, Callaway put Nathan's Instagram on there. Follow him on Instagram. Follow him on social media and everything else. Tell him that, you know what I mean? You could join the Discord. Callaway put it in there. It's only going to last for like 3 days. So use it while you can. And then it's going to be in there and all that good stuff. Thank you so much, my brother, for rocking with us.
This has been so fun.
No, this is a good time, dude. Come back next season. Come back next season.
For real,
Definitely come back and rock with us. And if everybody, if you like the way it is, please thumbs up the sprinters across the realm. As always, subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is.
Hey, peace out, man.
Sexy.